Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
Deceived, hiding from the lawsuits, a new trick up your sleeve. Paperwork, flimsy truth, taking a dive. Drowning paperwork, then buried alive. Fraudulent baller, playing the game. Dodging the heat while fueling the flame. Thinking you slick? Now we see through the scheme. Bankruptcy, fraud, that's stealing the dream. Stacks of life folded, origami finesse. You're bleeding broke, but your dollar screams success. Got the 56K, the attention, the barn go sweet. But in court you crying, I can't make ends meet. Heavy face reduce, gavel about to drop. Your lies are crumbling, your case is a flop. Fake tears streaming, crocodile flow. But the fraud you pulling, everybody knows. Fraudulent baller, playing the game. Dodging the heat while fueling the flame. Thinking you slick? Nah, we see through the scheme. Bankruptcy, fraud, that's stealing the dream. Money trail messy, footprints in the sand. Everybody watching, receipts in their hands. Lawyers on your neck, think you know what a scheme. But your team discussed it all on their live stream.
Now you're posting balloons about selling your jewelry? The jewelry you did claim. Are you kidding me? 30 cellular providers now produced in Discovery. Are any of those brain cells on?
You lied to the court and left your donors misled, saying 6K was for fighting when you'd already fled. Winning the case, this is only delays. A courtroom race and you running relays.
Stop selling jewelry. Stop taking out loans. Seriously, stop.
Man, such a good dancer. I love it. I love it.
Such a good dancer. I mean, you're on your toes.
What's really funny is, the Breaking Bad spoofing. My daughter does. She's like, look at that. She calls it the Breaking Dad. So she's like, show me Breaking Dad, the little one. This is so funny.
Love it.
Yeah, it cracks me up. Oh, folks, welcome today to a Saturday edition of I kept hearing that me and somebody else we totally hated each other. So now, well,
we've been battling it out, Here, let me get my war outfit on here. Just a second. Here we go. There we go. Got my war outfit for you.
It's funny. Hey man, you're armored up. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, we're gonna have a real throwdown, huh? Well, let me make sure that they understand that they should be entertained. Let me find the It's so funny though.
Are you
We're
going
gonna
to
have a
come in
good
as a gladiator?
yes, woo, baby, are you in a turn? Let's do it. That's how it goes, man. Yeah,
Oh,
apparently people thought we were not all getting along. I was like, no, it's just you get doing your own thing. You don't really,
yeah.
it just happens. I'm worrying with Just Jay, by the way.
Oh,
You know,
wow. I mean, that's par
that's a predicament.
that's a paradigm.
There you go. Yeah,
Oh,
apparently, look at that. That works too.
uh-huh.
Yeah, apparently he upset some people today so bad that like 2L that they came on because of his show. They came on early and it was entitled Just a Quick Hello and it went on for 3 hours. Oh my God. And they kept trying to hawk goods on there, and it went so badly that the mods kept having to buy their shit.
Oh my God. That is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first you get the songs of Filthy. Oh my God, those songs are my favorite thing, man. We were talking about it for a minute. I was like, oh yeah, those are actually quite awesome. You know?
Oh, they're
It's
so
hard to believe
bad. They're
they're
awesome.
real, man. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, and I heard you talking about something about unicorn jizz. I was like, okay, I'm so out of because I'm so damn busy that I
Oh
never
my
have time
God,
to
man.
catch everything.
Well, they did. Okay, so they did 2 songs. They did well, they did a few songs, let's say. But one of the songs has lines about it really does. It has a line about unicorn jizz. And they keep saying they did it on purpose. But the problem was they had all these other songs they had made, and all these other songs are called unicorn jazz, There's so many of them. And then this one, they're like, no, we did that on purpose. I was like, I don't know if you did that on purpose or not. What a
No.
typo. I was going through, it was funny because I was going through the transcript. And when I was going through it, I ran into a line about unicorn jizz. And I thought, what in the hell could you say that would trick it and come up that wrong? So I was like, what is that? So I went in and I looked at the actual lyrics of the song they pulled up, and sure enough, well, here, let me just let's do this together. Well, we'll do it together.
Yeah.
Now this will be a little blurry, all right, because I had to zoom in on the lyrics here, all right, but still, you can make these out. Now I want you
Yeah.
to do something with me, okay? This is an actual song of theirs, all right. Now
Okay.
you can go about the lyrics however you'd like, however it strikes your fancy. But when
Okay.
they're blue, I want you to read them for me, okay? Can you do
Okay.
that? All right,
Yes.
let's do this together. Here we are. You ready? Go.
Where rainbow hair shining bright, unicorn is taking flight. Braille and crayon side by side, united we stand, never hide. With unicorns ears in back shits, laughing till our sides hurt. Oh, what fits! Loving every moment, every day. In this friendship we play.
How is this real? I gotta stop for a minute. Like, you look at that. So you've never seen this amazingness. Like, first we get Lisa Lee, our protector, and then we get this.
Oh,
What line there? Like,
So, I just don't understand. Those lines make no sense.
it's you're really doing people a favor singing it your way too, because it is so bad. I was like, even a Suno knockoff should make better music than this.
No, I mean, because what makes you okay, unicorn jizz and back shits? Okay.
What is that? What happens to you? I don't know. I mean, oh my God. I don't even want to know what causes that. That's terrible stuff, man. It's bad. Lisa Lee, Our Protector, is better for sure. It's so sad to say too. Oh my god. You did go through Lisa Lee, Our Protector, right? You did go through that magic. Oh my god. Check this shit out. Here. I'll I'm gonna pull it up on the major screen. Now you have to unmute. Well, it may mute you. Okay, so unmute yourself if it does. Okay, because I'm just gonna pull it up and go through it. Wait, let me see if it pulled it up outside here. Sometimes it rebels. It's like, I ain't playing that shit for you. It really does. Sometimes it doesn't want to play it. It's the only. These two songs are the only thing that my setup does not want to play outside of this. But okay. Like, I love going through these here. I got it now. Actually, I'm gonna lock in on it. All right, you won't mute you here. So check this out. This is to Lisa Lee, Our Protector. That's how it goes. Oh my God. Listen, here we go. Let's just check this out. Lisa Lee,
our warrior.
Strong and true.
Land under her rule we grew.
Oh, it's amazing.
Protractor of all, with heart so fast.
It keeps going on about her fat heart.
For what's right with Lisa's fat ass. I'm sorry, she fights for the truth, never swaying or swerving. She's waddling with a soft heart. Springs whenever she's rearing.
Oh my God.
Care for every soul under her watchful eye. Lisa, our protractor in every way. What way?
It doesn't even rhyme.
In our arms we find peace safe and sound. Compassion shines like a girded light profound.
Girded.
Literally our warrior, our queen, our proof. Standing up for a tooth where justice is sought.
For a tooth.
Heart so huge, so full of love. Please,
oh my God.
Protractor forever above.
Our protractor, I love it.
Your stars through rain, she stands tall and firm, a beacon of hope, our darkest storm, guiding us through her gentle might.
Oh my God. They made this song. Like, what's amazing is they really made this. I mean,
single breath, she hacks and cough for all who call this land their own. Her very best. The soft heart so full of grace. We are protractor in every place. In her arms we find peace safe and sound. In her folds, her compassion shines like a light.
Oh my God. Oh, how is this surreal?
Lisa Lee, our warrior, our queen, our proof. Stand up for tooth where justice is.
Standing up for tooth.
Heart is
write
so
that song.
So full of love. Lisa Lee, our protractor forever.
Oh my God. You need to write that song, Lisa Lee, Our Protractor.
I should.
You really
Lee,
need
our
to.
warrior, our queen, our proof. Stand up. It's more like loofah. Stand up for truth where justice is.
Gross. Calling all loofahs. Calling all loofahs.
Full of love. Lisa Lee, our protractor forever above.
Isn't that amazing? What's really amazing is I saw somebody post about cult songs. It was like, what? they made a what now? So I went and I looked and I was like, people were talking about how cringy it was. And I was like, hell no. That is a gold mine is what that is. That is amazing. How is that real?
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Yeah, the mods, I mean, they make cult songs for her. And what's beautiful about it is, so they start to play it. And I mean, my God, I posted this over on Facebook and you really have to watch it. Because the first time, I didn't even post the first part of it. The first, when they start playing, she just starts yelling over it. She's like calling somebody. She's not even on her show. Okay. She's on the mod show. She goes over there and they're playing their filthy love songs. They're all waiting. And while they're there, she starts screaming at people in the audience. She's like, oh, you called me a coward. Oh my God. And then the song's playing in the background. Then she starts coughing. So they stop it and they start it again, thinking maybe she'd listen this time. Nope, same shit happens again. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, I mean, it's such a clown show, and the mods, they were okay with it. Oh my God, it's so beautiful, man.
Oh my gosh.
Have you been keeping up with all the paint chip stupid,
Oh.
where the judge calls him out after his daddy filing?
Oh yes, that was so hilarious. I started reading on that. I mean, there was 55 pages of just complete blather. I was like, I'll get to it later. There's too much here to unpack, and I have to do so much redactions in it because he's
Oh
constantly
yeah.
getting.
Oh yeah. I've redacted those documents. Finally, I went in. If you need them redacted, I'll shoot them over to you because I finally did redact it all. I think it's a lot of work, man. I was like, man, paint chips is not worth this much work.
Well, the judge, I don't even think put that much work because he dismissed it after the first line. I
I
mean,
thought was really, yeah, it was a terrible. I mean, you talk about really screwing the pooch, by the way. I mean, that's what I figured we'd talk about, paint chips. That would be because the judge really does wreck him off of this. Because again, if people miss this for some reason, document, I think it's 116, 117, if I'm not mistaken. He files it as his father. Now it has the same shit. It's definitely paint chips. You can tell. You can 100% tell it's him. But he puts in the header and it says Elephant Shoe LLC, an Ohio limited liability company, also known as What the Hales, and Jeremy Hales, a paid internet agitator, elder, I'm going to say a coster, degenerate, closeted, homosexual, and alligator effer. Okay, well, the judge calls that out. And this is Boletho. Boletho, Mr. Soft Touch over here. He calls it out. He says, I'll pull that up while we're talking about it. He calls it obscene and improper case caption. I mean, for him to put this in a filing, holy God, man.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking. I don't think he even went past the first page of reading it because he was. I mean, it just right at the very beginning. That's the first thing that he did. It was just like, I don't know who senior is here, but he's not going to become part of this case.
It's so funny.
He's not involved in this case whatsoever. And then it's obscene, improper. There's no point.
No, well, and I've heard many things. The blame Jeremy, we laugh about blame Jeremy and stuff, but them actually trying to blame Jeremy because the 72-year-old man, he goes and decides to play pickleball. He allegedly breaks a rib or something, and I mean, there are many things you could blame that on. One of the things I would not expect is to blame it on Jeremy Hales.
Yeah, I mean, well, and they tried to do the same thing with Bone Crusher, and that didn't work either. Because we're sitting here going, yes, it absolutely sucks that he lost his wife, and I'm not degrading that, but
Sure.
he got himself involved in this lawsuit, like intentionally got himself involved in this lawsuit. It wasn't like at any point in time he had a chance to walk away, and you would think that especially after seeing the way that Paint Chips has been acting, that he would be separating away from these people as quickly as possible. And he's just doubling down. It's like, okay, well,
Well,
do
he
your
also
thing.
shows what kind of person he is because he loves, crawling up on his cross and telling everybody, about how he's a good, moralizing Christian. He gets right up on that soapbox and calls, like he said about my show, he said, we are the Sodom and Gomorrah of YouTube, which is, when you listen to that, we're also apparently the Antichrist, all these wonderful labels. But yeah, I kept thinking, you're broadcasting with paint chips. This guy is bad news. Like
Yeah.
really bad news. And you want to sermonize while doing that?
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
gross, man.
Yeah, and I've never understood what his whole deal is. I mean, it was one of those things that was so confusing to me to watch this older gentleman just being used by this group of people, and sitting there going, what does he offer except another sounding board?
I think that's exactly what it is, really. Well, I think he, for them, they were hoping that he sounded like the elder statesman, that he would come across as a voice of reason or something. But none of these people do. They all sound like fucking lunatics most of the time.
Yeah.
If they don't like Hales, you know what, man? I sit here and I laugh, like laughing at the the cult songs, all of these things. You can do that. Like if you didn't like Hales, man, you can make fun of what it does. You can do all kinds of stuff. The thing that they should all understand is going after his well, let's see. They went after the school. They went after Olight. They've gone after him being able to not just. They've gone after everything in his supply chain. Really, I was going to say him being able to sell, but they've gone after places for the front of the supply chain to the back. They've gone after everything from him being able to buy, him being able to post on YouTube, him being able to put in links, him being able to sell and whatnot. So the whole supply chain they've really targeted,
Right.
And it's just, it's wild to watch, And then my favorite thing they've all done though is they had a guy giving them untold amounts of money, and their answer, instead of keeping that guy around in the huge donor, they have all burned him, every single one. Did you hear about the new chapter in that?
With
The David the Donor chapter with the Rock, apparently.
no, there's a Rock now.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up something for you in just a second.
Okay.
One second, I got a Raider. She's
Raider.
in here. What do you got? Oh, hey, I got a guest today. I'm doing a guest show. Okay, all right. But I'll open this for you. Come here.
I need a spoon.
Huh?
I need a spoon.
Oh, okay. We'll get one out of there. Grab one. She's motioning. She's quiet. Yeah. Yeah, I know you're quiet. You're doing great. Here. I love you too. Lock my door when you go upstairs, okay? Hey, you don't have to tiptoe now. That's not going to help. Nobody can hear you walking across the room. Let me get her. She started tiptoeing out of the room. I was like, I don't think anybody can hear you walking. Okay. Oh my God, that's pretty funny. But yeah, they were talking about. So I'm actually gonna pull this up. Give me a minute. I'll pull the transcript. That way you can hear the wonder of it. Because again, this is them telling you what happened. It's better for them to tell you. That way, again, if they get, because some people were like, well, I think they're getting a couple of things wrong. Well, I think it's not my tale. I'm not the one who banned him and things like that. But this is really good. All right, let's check this out here. This is from, I think, 2 days ago. The timeline on them gets a little wonky for me because I don't want to put in enough effort to go in and check the dates on this stuff again. I pulled the transcript. What more you want from me?
that was work.
But
much effort you want to put.
I believe this is a mod, one of the mod squad coming in. They're like, now, Lisa, I want you to listen to me. Yeah, Tori, has officially banned Only Me from her channel. Now they're like, I heard about that. Oh, I heard. You know, there was a back and forth on Tori's live, and this person's like, well, I caught the tail end of it. Somebody was very upset because they said, this is again their wording, Only Me was being an ass. And it was something about Robbie, because when I tuned back into Tori was going off on him. Now, that don't bring this here. You know, you got, I love this. By the way, I've been making fun of this so much. So, you know, Get Swamped is his auctions. Well, when the transcript listens, they think his show is called Get Soft Auctions. I love it. So good. Getting soft. Oh my God. So good. All right. So, like, they also admit, weirdly enough, they're like, you know, they do business together. They actually have some kind of stream there, but her channel's not the place to bring up, you know. So even though she does business with him on his channel and stuff, oh, can't bring that up there. Okay. Well, why does this happen? Well, as you go down through this, what you find out is they said, well, he had said something about the meteorite again, you know, something like he had paid $4,000 for this thing. And apparently he had been ripped off because the item, it was only worth about $1,000. So yet again, this guy who has put in, from what has been discussed, he has put in as much to at least 2 shows. This was according to 2L, and I'm feeling pretty good about these numbers here. I think there's 3 other channels actually that he's put in as much as he put into Lynette Preston. So Robbie, I believe, is one of them. He has put in as much, $50,000. That's what I'm thinking, or more. You know, we've seen him. If the numbers hold true on the 4, we saw him do around $6,000 with the lawyer off of one thing. So that would be $10,000 right there, just off that. You know, and there was discussion about him buying all this. Well, apparently they burned him and then they blocked him. So that's what $50,000 gets you in each one of these places. They get you burned and they get you blocked.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
it's wild, isn't it?
They've been doing that quite often, though. It seems, especially whenever that stuff was going down with Lynette, that they were literally just, as soon as people were started asking questions, it was like they went on this mass banning spree. You know, and it was the funniest thing to watch, because people are sitting there going, hey, what about, you know, you said you were going to send this back to me in November. And it's just like, you didn't email me. And
well, they started banning people asking questions about the bankruptcy thing. Hey, I thought we were giving money to a lawyer that was going to handle 4 cases, like somebody that legitly was a lawyer, you know. And her answer to that was that was Bruce. In fact, she's thrown Bruce under the bus on several occasions as of late, which is kind of really interesting. You know, she threw him under the bus for that. She threw him under the bus also for the what the hales media ecosystem. She was like, that's Bruce's, that's his thing. He started that, not her. He started that. Like, yeah,
but they promoted it, and I mean, you know, that's what I don't understand. You know, as much as they've done, as many fundraisers as they've done, that YouTube hasn't stepped in and said anything, because they've been doing fundraisers for quite some time. Everything from Lynette to the barn to Bone Crusher to, I mean, it's just been on and on. I'm like, I'm surprised that YouTube hasn't said, you know, where exactly is this money going? Because, you know, if you're running a fundraiser like that, I don't know if YouTube appreciates that.
They're well, that unfortunately, what'll happen one day is either local authorities will pick up on that, or federal maybe, or some mainstream media source that they're afraid of will pick it up. And when they do, holy shit, it will rain hell down. I've seen that happen 3 or 4 times where there have been illegitimate fundraisers, and the mainstream media, if there's an actual mainstream source that notes them, which is funny because they were begging mainstream coverage, and they may one day get that. And if they get it, off of this again, it will wreck them because it will bring law enforcement eyes, and they think they can sell it to their audience. They can sell that there's no problem there, but
Well, and
selling it.
That's sort of been the way that they've been traveling, is selling it to their audience. Because we've read through these documents. I'm pretty sure you've read through quite a few of them also, if not all of them. And we'll sit there and go, oh, it looks like the bankruptcy is going to have an extended stay on it until the government opens back up. And the first thing they do is they come out, look, the bankruptcy's back on. I was like, that's not what that means. What are they talking about?
Lynette, like when you read her stuff, she thinks it's back on.
No.
Like what that tells you, though, again, potentially, I mean, she's definitely hard to work with. You can tell, but she, yeah, you think really? Sometimes I think, are they really trying to send her to jail? I really do wonder that, because you're dealing with people that are egotistical and vindictive as hell. And these people, they've been crossed. You can see how terrible Lynette is to deal with. And I wonder at some point, are they making these decisions purposefully? Are they really trying to screw her? Because I can't rationalize some of these moves that they make. Like, they are so bad that, I'm like, I get somebody that, they're an idiot, but are they really this dumb? Oh my God.
And them just thinking that this bankruptcy is gonna solve all their problems is, I mean, I'm no lawyer or anything, but I'm pretty sure that she still has to sit for discovery. Like, even if the bankruptcy does start back up again, I'm pretty sure that she still has to sit for discovery, because that's something that's already been set.
Even if it didn't, okay, let's just say that, see, she thinks, I mean, she very much believes that the bankruptcy is going to wash away all current and potentially future lawsuits. She thinks that, again, I've noted this with Megan. I'm like, if I wish these people could hear me in the ecosystem, because if that worked, why wouldn't every company, like all these companies that, when they release like a new drug, for example, right? There's going to be lawsuits eventually that are going to come up. Why wouldn't they file bankruptcy as like a small company, release it under that name, file bankruptcy, put every single name of every potential person, they file it with every U.S. citizen attached to it, and nobody could ever sue them. Well, why wouldn't companies do that? Well, because it's the dumbest thing you've ever heard, right? But that would be, as Lynette understands bankruptcy, that would work.
No. Well, of course,
it's the dumbest idea ever, man.
I don't think she has the maybe it's her attorney that's telling her this stuff.
Oh, no, it is. No, it is.
I mean, he got his $5,000. He doesn't care. He's just
oh my God.
For all I care.
I want to be here for when she's had so many things go the way they aren't supposed to go. You know what I mean? So I want to be here for when she finally has that epiphany that her lawyers have not been right about everything. And when she turns on them, when that happens, that is going to be glorious to watch. Oh my God. Can you imagine when she comes first?
I'm sitting here just picturing the flip out.
Oh yeah. I mean, you look at, see, I think there'll be a ripple effect too. So when that happens, I don't know that this is true. I'm wondering, why wouldn't she call out 2L, for example, about the money in Volpe interview? Well, that's because she was she was put in her place not to do that, right? She was put in by probably not just Volman, but also they mentioned her lawyer, right? Her lawyer not wanting to talk about this stuff. So I imagine, they got her by the script. Now I know she probably wants to, but they've kept her somehow under control. Now, when that slides out of control, when she finally figures out that these people, they have left her high and dry. Like some of them, again, fed to, who knows? Maybe some of them walk. Heck, let's just say they all walk. I mean, let's go best case scenario for them. Again, I'm not saying they will, but just say best case scenario for them. Lynette's still on the hook. She's still got Fed 1 going bad for her. She's got these state court things going bad for her. They left her on the hook. They left her high and dry.
With
When she figures that out.
every
Oh, go
single move that they've done, they've left her high and dry.
Yeah.
They've taken her money, and I don't have exact totals on this, but by my calculation, it's in the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, yeah. That's why I say 6 figures for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And the only way she's going to know is if they give a full accounting of it. And of course, they've already said that money isn't for her.
Yeah,
Again.
well, they admitted to, so I like this. I love the admission here because it was so dumb to show. I'll put this on the screen. So when David the donor, he's
Yes.
talking about his numbers, their rationalization. I keep hammering this point to who I want people to understand this, because they're telling you straight up they're keeping the money. They are. They say there were 3 projects. They completed 2. So any money that they deem went for that. They say that certain words prove, like here, okay, for Christmas, which they completed, they say, let's do more. That means Christmas. How does that mean Christmas? I don't know. It came November the 17th. It's not at Christmas, but let's do more says that it's for the Christmas project. So that money on the 17th, the $5,000 that's listed right here, that's theirs. Isn't that crazy?
What?
Yeah. Anything. Okay. Like Finn's here. So money on the 13th, this $1,000 where they're like, hey, why don't you put stain protection, which they never added, by the way. Let's just say they didn't. It quote unquote fell off the truck, but the fence is completed. So the $1,000 that's right there, that's their money.
It fell off the truck like she falls off her taco box. It didn't fall. Oh my God.
This stuff is insanity, dude.
I've had deliveries, large deliveries come in from Lowe's, and nothing falls off the truck because they bring that stuff right on over. It was never even ordered.
Oh no, it wasn't. What I'm curious about too is she admits to a 16th and a 20th. Well, you look on his numbers, there's not a 16th.
Yeah, there isn't.
But her numbers say that, so there's more money that was given that's not listed here. See, that's one of the things I thought was really funny too. It's like, David, did you miss one of those? Is there actually more money than you've totaled here? I'm curious about a donation on the 16th because it said too, and I love it as well. He didn't want to be known as this giant donor at first, but the way we find out about it is he gets upset because he finds out one of these people here, they have a criminal background. He's like, oh my God, my money, is in the hands of criminals and nothing's happening. So I'd like to know what's going on. And notice nothing still has happened. So we're rolling up. When you go in and you start looking, even by their numbers, the barn donations start coming in on the 16th.
Oh my God. I mean, we're well past, we're coming up on almost a year now.
Yeah. 5 days. We hit a year. That's wild, isn't it? So by their own admission, this project has gone on for a year and there's been no movement in it. What's really crazy too is, so I talked to him.
It's wild.
He wanted to clarify a few things, and I was happy for him to clarify because I want to understand some things. And again, I mean, he's pretty direct in answering stuff, to the blunt point, so you find out whatever he wants to say, but no more. And that's fine. There are many things I'd like to find out though. But in this, he noted that he stopped giving money to Lynette Preston and John Cook because nothing was happening with this project. He was going to give more money. He was going to furnish. He was going to do all that. So when they talk about there not being enough money, he was going to give more.
Yeah.
They screwed him.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that they screwed him, because apparently he has the money to toss like this. But he was saying that money wasn't going where it was supposed to be going, which was to help Lynette in her situation, to make a better place for a child. And her being the guardian, that is directly impacts her on every single penny that comes in.
Did you ever read through the comments? So I went back, I was going through all this stuff attached to him. I pulled this up the other day. Lynette, she denies this, by the way. She pretended to be his victim. She said, let me pull the statement up. I'm not going to pull up on the screen right here, but let me just grab it real fast. So she said, I just don't understand why. Why give to only hurt myself and my child? Why are you hurting? She's saying, you hurt my child by giving this money and by complaining and saying, hey, what's going on right here? What's happening with this? You're hurting her and you're hurting the child. So she claimed that she was a victim of this dude. And then she started trying to reach out. Well, actually, let's pull it up. I was like, well, I'm not going to pull. Yeah, I'm going to pull it up. But you can see, she's saying this, and then she's complaining about the amount of money. She's like, I guess you don't live in the U.S. because the amount donated toward the house wasn't near enough to finish house. $50,000, man. And she's like, that's not enough, dude. Why would you hurt me and my baby?
Oh my God, no.
I love it. And then they start trying to climb up back into his wallet again. After all of this happens, they were begging for him to reach out, and oh my God. And he was smart enough to be like, no, I don't think so. If you want that money, you better go talk to 2L in the gang.
Well, and this is no different than what happened with Shara. Because Shara, there was a GoFundMe created, and Shara donated quite a large sum of money into that to help it go to things.
$3,000 that she threw in?
It was
that ain't chump change,
3,000 or 300. It was something like
that.
It
was like in the thousand. I think it was $3,000.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she would be able to tell you. I know that she posted about it because she even had one of her videos that was talking about that. And she reached out to Bruce and was like, listen, buddy, this here money doesn't belong to you.
Exactly.
And
she foghorn legged toward it.
and he said, well, you'll have to take that up with my client. Like,
yeah, I thought that was, he also had like a little fit about it. Like, what do you want me to do? And it's like, well, you just said that you're a client. Why wouldn't you remedy this? Oh, well, because he was essentially, he went with the, I ain't doing crap for you. By the way, why don't you come back and why don't you promote her all the time? What's up with that, man? They thought she was just some kick around stool, God, it's amazing.
Well, that's how they treated her, was just a kick around stool. And I guess whenever she stopped milking the cow, that they decided, well, they'd just kick that three-legged stool out from underneath her.
Yep. They
It's-
thought she would be an easy go too. They actually, you know, she seems like a soft touch, and I don't mean that like in a bad way. She seems
No.
like somebody that, she wants to go do her own thing. She will argue and fight with you online if you if you want some, but not like, again, we went back and forth with her, and I liked going through her little emoticons and laughing at them. God, I had a lot of fun with it, but she never turned on these people. They turned on her,
Yes.
I mean, she was loyal to these folks. It was,
What?
but they turned on her publicly, and after that, they thought that she wasn't collecting receipts. They kept saying that. They kept saying that she was just some half-ass joke journalist. She hadn't done any of her work. She hadn't done anything at all, and it turned out, oh, she had been keeping receipts the whole time.
Well, and
So,
she still has quite a few of those receipts.
mhm.
What I found so funny is the little ecosystem, anti-Hale's ecosystem over there. They keep saying, "Oh, we've got receipts. We've got all these receipts. Just wait until you see the receipts." Not a receipt has been shown.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
It's
Shara had a ton of receipts. Like, I thought that was really funny. And that's not what they wanted. They didn't want any receipts that indicted them, of course.
no,
I mean, that's what I keep at. I'm like, if you've got all these receipts, show them, please. I want to see them. I'd love through this. I'd love for them to produce all these receipts that showcase that Hales did X, Y, or Z. But instead, all I get is a trust me, or when Lynette's freaking out, like her new stuff. Let's pull these up, by the way, because she's just been posting again. Yeah, we also get some stuff like, you hide behind fake profiles, Muppets. Oh, you damn Muppets out there, you dirty damn Muppets.
well, if I'm going to be a Muppet, I might as well just ride right in there and grab my Muppet. There we go. Is that better?
Yep, she needs for you to throw that in there, you dirty Muppets. You
Oh,
say the most hurtful and mean things. Yeah, truth hurts, man. Truth hurts. When you talk about what she wanted, and you get this from the Shara stuff too. She had this expectation that people, for some reason, they were just going to join her little crusade. It's funny too, because she talks about Muppets. So she's not talking about the people who stole $100,000 from you. I mean,
no.
that's what blows my mind. She's like, you lie and spread gossip and misinformation to hurt others, and you say I'm the bad person. Well, what's gossip and misinformation? You mean you getting fined by the courts and then throwing fits and saying you never lie and that John was your husband? You do all this stuff untimely, but I guess we're all liars in that, right?
Yeah, that was an interesting spin. As soon as Randy filed that and said, "Listen, we're making a motion for a judgment on this on sanctions," because she was supposed to be there, it was like, Randy doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, the lie. She was like, here that one is. Do you know how stupid all of this is? John Cook had an appointment set up. He's my ex-husband. He exists. He's real. And he's like, I don't remember John Cook ever being accused of not being real. I mean, he's part of multiple litigations, So obviously they know he's real. He's just not your husband,
Yeah.
And she goes off about that too. She's like, I forget to put a little X in front of ex-husband, and that's why that's not a win. That's that's a lie. Like, yeah, okay.
Well,
But it
even
just shows you.
if you put an X in front of ex-husband, it still doesn't make it ex-husband.
It's ex-husband, right?
Ex-husband.
Hell, if she puts another on, it'd be like triple ex-husband, which is kind of weird. That means something different, I think. You know.
Somebody said, "Who does this remind you of?" They showed me a picture of Crook, and I was like, "It reminds me of Mr. Magoo." No, Mr.
That's
Kangaroo,
really
Captain Kangaroo. That's who he looks like.
It's so funny that he thinks like he's such a badass, you know. And again, you know, when I say this, I get Mr. Hales lives across the street from him, and this guy has pulled a pew pew on him before. So you have to take that seriously.
Yes.
But this dude thinking that he is intimidating when he talks shit, like he loves to talk shit and point it like my way or something. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, why don't you hobble your ass down the street and rebandage? What are you going to do? You know, I mean, seriously, you think he was scared? It's like many of these people. Oh my God, dude. Many paint chips and these other idiots, they try to talk like they're big badasses. I'm like, you know, as we talked about before, paint chips didn't put in the work back when, you know, it was somebody else that did it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was just he was the one that was all talk and no show.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was an associate too. Here's the thing. Associate, even with mob movies, they teach you the associate is the person that mobsters shake down. You know?
Yep.
Like they're the schmo that's there. And paint chips made sure there was somebody below him in the pecking order. So they would end up having more problems than him. But it's still funny because he thought, you know, that somehow makes him, you know, Billy Bob badass, and it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't bode well for him at all.
No, he
doesn't. He's been creating on their articles. They have a fake belief though. That's, you know, commenting, quote unquote, commenting. And I thought, man, whose MO, you know, creates fake officials? Who has gotten in trouble for that before? Who does that reflect on?
Someone got some prison time for that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think do I still have those documents for that where where the judge found that he was guilty of this and it broke his probation? He ended up getting sent back to prison for that. Yeah, that's why it took so long. And that's whenever he was crying to what's that little guy, the Frank and Beans report or something like that, where he's complaining to him and saying, hey, you know, I was well, let's put it this way. He was Bubba's bunkmate, I guess the best way to put it.
He had a very rough love life for a little while. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember him complain. And you know, in many people's cases, I would feel bad for them in that. But for him, I don't. Simply for the fact that I mean, he's a terrible human being. You can tell he learned nothing from the prison experience. It's like he longs to go back.
He might. He just, I mean, it does get lonely at his age, you know, especially because, you know, I mean, I read through his original lawsuit, his original lawsuit the other night, and I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, I had no idea that he was married. And he intimidated his wife because he thought she was giving up stuff to the feds. And I was like, wait a second. This guy was actually married? Okay.
Yeah. He thought she was narking him out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he went after her. Yeah, the marriage thing was quite the surprise, too. I agree.
And I mean, kudos to her for moving on and getting away from that crap. But oh my God, could you just imagine? You're sitting there, living your life, find out that your significant other is doing some screwed up stuff, gets themselves entangled up and the feds. We're not talking, the Department of Justice is stepping in because you've created what could potentially become an international trade war over your shenanigans.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't know what to say.
He's been trying to rephrase that and trying to say that he did a great thing because it was all just aimed at China. And I was like, no, you defrauded not only U.S. companies, but you took a blind dude and you made him the fall guy, the patsy for your whole operation. A guy, by the way, it's interesting because they talk about guardians and guardianships. Well, this guy wanted out of one of those. He said that he was being abused, and when they approached him, according to the indictment, they were like, yeah, well, here's a cigarette. Let me take you to this lawyer. Maybe this guy can help you. And instead of helping, he puts him as the figurehead for this. So again, if everything comes falling down around them, that there's this guy and this just wanted help with the guardianship, that he ends up being their patsy.
Well, that's what that couple did. What was it in Wisconsin, New Jersey? I think it was in Pennsylvania, maybe. There was a couple that they found this homeless guy. They talked him into it, and he agreed to it, to show up and play like he was a disabled vet, which he was a disabled vet. He was homeless, but ran this little scheme where it said, oh, he gave his last $20 and helped me out. It never happened, and the money started flowing in. And luckily those people were able to get their money back from GoFundMe, but that came along with some prison time because of the scam that they played. They raised over, I think,
I remember that. I absolutely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
400,000. They had him living in a trailer in their backyard until they repossessed it. They bought brand new BMWs and went on gambling trips, and they've got recordings of them arguing about, whose fault it was for letting the scam roll. They were on, I think, Oprah or Megyn Kelly or something like that also. And
yeah, it's really funny because it reminds me a lot of, there's many things, many similarities in what happened with 2L and LMNOP, where you could see this again. You think about the headline to all of this stuff, how this would read in the media. See, to decide whether or not something could potentially blow up in your face like that. You look at how headline grabbing, how, I'm not going to say newsworthy. I mean, how when the headline comes up, how insane this would look. And it would look quite insane. It would have everything, and they would be the headline grabber. And like I said, if any news media ever picks up on what they did, they should be slinking around and hoping to God no one ever covers this story out there.
Well, it'll actually end up getting covered because of the shenanigans that they're doing and the stuff that they've pulled. Wasn't Pink Chip calling the feds on this? He called the FBI.
Indeed.
So the FBI is going to be thorough in looking into this stuff. And I would say that most likely, if the FBI is involved, they're not going to show their hand. They'll just all of a sudden show up on your door, and they'll have all the warrants that they need. They'll seize everything.
Well, they also, Paint Chips has a lot of not so friends in the FBI. I never understood why that guy would invite the FBI back into his life.
He's lonely for Bubba. That's
so crazy, man. I mean, you got judges left and right just wrecking these people. You got, again, Belitho, you know, Belitho's a soft touch for these people. You would think they would do everything they can to secure him, you know, to make sure that he stays friendly. But no, man, they're out there creating, again, fake accounts pretending to be him. And oh God, man, it's amazing stuff. I'm proud of them. If anybody could wreck this for themselves, they will. You know?
Well, they are good at soul sabotaging.
Well, like Megan had said, you know, if you look at Volpe and you look at paint chips, what they've done over time is they have sabotaged many other people's cases. You know, at the end of the day, too, this is something Lynette cannot understand. These people, there will be no accountability for them if it's sabotaged.
Oh no.
You know,
No. Volpe made that very clear. He's done that before. Like that wasn't just some sort of fluke. So Megan knows what she's talking about. He tanked. If I'm not mistaken, it was the one of the women that he was knocking heels with that he did that to, like tanked her case. I'm pretty sure that's who it was. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, Volpe was very instrumental in that. Like making objections in the court case and getting obnoxious and filing things and actually drawing attention to the mistakes that she was making and tank that case. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, she lost her kids.
it takes an extra special someone to come in, hired, you know, by people. They're supposed to be helping you out, and they destroy your case. They end up getting it kicked, and they end up ultimately costing you your children.
Yeah. Yeah, I like you said, I'm curious if they're not doing this intentionally to tank her case. I mean,
well, some of the stuff, like some of them, it's hard to say because the stuff they do is so dumb. You know, I mean, there is a level where you're like, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing this on accident, can you? I mean, really? God, I don't know, man. It blows my mind sometimes because I do not understand this entire nonsensical mess.
well, yeah, haven't they emailed the Judge Belitho in this? I think Paint
Yeah.
Chips already emailed the judge in this.
Multiple times. Yeah. Yeah, like Megan said, well, maybe that's not the right address. And I was like, well, Bruce thought it was real enough that he removed it when he was replying. You know, because he replied to all, but he conveniently left off the one with Belitho's name on it.
Yeah, it's like he conveniently left my name off of that one that he sent to the Florida bar.
Oh, that was so funny, man. He hates you so much. He does. He fucking hates you, man. I'm kind of proud of you on that portion. You know,
it was a straight up, and you know, I showed what would be an inappropriate letter on my channel. I showed I was like, yeah, this would be my response. But whenever you're dealing with it on a professional level, you act professional. That's I guess the best way to put it.
he was essentially like, don't listen to this guy because he's a drunk. It's like Deer Bar. Oh my God! Did he just write the bar? And it was like, oh my God, this dude's a drunk.
It wasn't him that did that. That was Bone Crusher.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Did he not too? I'll have to look back, but I am pretty sure he also wrote a letter being like, you know, this shizzy guy is a drunk. Don't listen to him. I'm pretty sure. I like I said, I'd have to go into the folder and check it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he did it too.
He might have.
Yeah. like I said, I love the fact that I mean he has a special hate level for you.
Well,
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I cannot believe like
well, maybe
when
because I try not to leave, phrases out of like out of a, whenever I want to charge people money, I don't like fudge that.
I've been amazed. I've been waiting for somebody like Lynette to spill the beans on how certain lawyers came into the process. I'm I'm talking about like Stark, for example. The whole thing of you can tell from the messages behind the scenes that something ain't right there. And Lynette, I mean, if when she wakes up to this, she has a hell of a case against Bruce if she ever wants it.
Well, Bruce and possibly her bankruptcy attorney. What is it, Ramaswamy or something like that?
Oh God, I don't even try. I don't know.
No, I think because hasn't she said that her lawyers? She's referred to her lawyers multiple times.
Yeah,
like she has multiple attorneys.
Yeah, what I think. Okay, I bet this. I think this makes sense. The move that she made, where she did not show up for court. I believe, with the timing and everything, it's suspect enough that I think that she was told by legal counsel to put it in at the last minute. There'd be no ramifications. I very much wonder if that includes the bankruptcy lawyer too, that he's telling her, yeah, there's no problem, because she mentions in that she mentions the bankruptcy case as well. She doesn't just mention the doctor's note, but she mentions the bankruptcy thing that's upcoming. And she's like, basically, why should I be there? Well, isn't she mentioning? I mean, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, but nothing's happened with the bankruptcy case. At that point in time, there was nothing going on.
No, she's totally wrong. And that's what the judge, and part of his decision is like now. But, for that to be brought up, I wonder if the bankruptcy lawyer is, he's in the chat telling her, yeah, that stuff is okay too. But I really wonder. I'm like, how often do these people chat too? Keep her in line. How many days a week do you think you have to chat with her to keep her in line and to keep her from turning on you?
Oh, I'm thinking how many times a day that you have
for real. That's what I'm wondering. And I wonder that too. I hope she realizes too. So she's got this money dancing around in her mind, how much she's going to get paid from Hales, which is insane. But let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just say, okay, say you did get a paycheck, right? Which was not going to happen, but let's just say you did. You realize that every time that dude calls you, that's a billable hour, right? And if he's been calling you every single day.
Oh, for the past, 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, my God. So let's just, God, how much do you think he would say that he bills for? $500 an hour for this?
I would say he probably would cut his rate down because, I would say he's probably looking to secure probably a good million off of this.
Well, let's just say, okay, well, if he did call that a billable hour at $500 an hour, all right, and 365 days, if he did it for a year, that'd be $182,500 right there in billable hours that he would throw on there. So if you put it on if you went in and you said, well, he's done that, that's right, we're talking again. $365,000 out of any money, So,
but that you're looking at, you're forgetting something. That doesn't include his percentage that he would get paid off of this.
Oh yeah, well, you got to get expenses first. That's what I'm saying. Just off expenses, just for the phone calls,
right?
That'd be $182,000. He'd be like, yep, there. That's for 1 year of one phone call per day average. So there's $182,000 off of her money, and then every filing. God, I'm sure all the coordination for the ecosystem. I'm sure that gets billed somehow. And like you said, there would be a percentage and everything too at the end of it.
The percentage, what he would get is a percentage first.
Yeah,
and then he would come back and say, well, that doesn't include all the filings that I did. And this was a 53-page document. It took me, 3 days to write this, and working 12 hours a day for 3 days at $300 an hour. I mean, then what, 3 phone calls that day for an hour each?
Right. Oh yeah, they that's standard lawyerisms too, lawyers.
And I'm sure he's charging for every time that he's gone online and talked about it too. Now, he's done that multiple times. We're talking 8-hour streams, and then of course he's had to watch videos that have come out. Like I said, I'm pretty sure once he totals it up, he's hoping that that's going to be a big payout for him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he banked heavy. I think the reason he pumped out of the Fed 1 is I think he realized it was not a winnable case. Finally, even in Bruce math, he was like, I'm not going to win this thing. So see you, Lynette. Wouldn't want to be you.
I don't think he ever thought it was a winnable case.
Really?
Yeah, the way that he behaved, it wasn't like an attorney that was doing anything that was winnable, because he was prolonging the whole case. I mean, whenever an attorney thinks that they have a winnable case, that they're making progress on this, they want to make sure that stuff gets done really quick. They don't play around. They don't pussyfoot around with it. They hit hard, they hit heavy, and they hit with all of the facts. As soon as you're asking for discovery, you're saying, absolutely, here's the discovery, here's every single piece of discovery. This is where they were at, this is how they were doing it, this is their phone records. Whenever you have a winnable case, you hit hard and you hit fast, because you want to make sure that you shut the other side down. And he's been just I mean, they haven't even gotten to discovery yet, and they've got they've got
but she thinks that she absolutely thinks that they have done discovery. She thinks they've done it for her side. She's done everything she's supposed to, but so it's amazing to me. Like she doesn't even understand the basics of her case. I think what you describe is a rational lawyer too. I think the people we deal with are anything but rational, So
more like a rash.
Yeah, for real, rational. That's very true. Yeah, that's a rash. Like, oh Lord, no skin cream will fix for sure. Well, I mean, I try to understand, in any case, I try to understand the motivations of the people behind it, and I'm coming up again with some of their moves. Yes, I get that these people, they are idiots, but some of the recent moves, I'm like, even an idiot has to know that this doesn't look like desperation. It looks like sabotage, man.
It has been looking like sabotage all the way down. I mean, because every single move that I've watched has tanked the case even further.
Yeah.
And we're okay. So they bring a lawsuit against Larry, and then Larry's, and Jeremy and George, and the thumbnail case, which I was surprised that they didn't add more people to it, because there was a lot of people, I think, that were using those types of thumbnails talking about this, and all of a sudden it went from this thumbnail case and trying to get where, okay, so Larry wrote to him and said, drop this. And you still have opportunity to walk away without it costing you anything, or minimum sanctions,
Right.
because you've got nothing on here. This isn't going to stand up in court, which makes me see it makes it show that something was intentional that they were doing with that.
Yeah, God, somebody thinking that lawsuit would work. That's just, it blows my mind that anyone would think that could work out. Because these are fundamentals that have already been established. These are clearly established in the media. So to say people can't cover, they can't talk about this. I mean, again, the idea of what they filed, it wasn't none of this stuff is true, it's defamatory. No, you just can't talk about this person at all. You can't do that. You have to have their permission. And it's like, no, I don't. I actually don't have to have their permission. You're fundamentally wrong here.
Well, they've gotten so many different things wrong on this, especially oh God, what was it? And even Randy was just like, this isn't a federal, this is a civil case. Why are you filing, criminal statutes? There is no conference. Like, if you read the statute, which apparently whoever filed that crap didn't read the damn statute that says whenever you're given notice for deposition, you have to be there. There's no confer. There's no meet and confer for this.
Right.
That's just a notice, and it states it very clear. Was it 1.3 something or other, or 1.2? I can't remember off the top of my head. I had to read it because I was just like, okay, so why are they filing this particular thing unless they're intentionally trying to sabotage it and telling her, no, this is absolutely right?
Check that out. Finnegan Jew said when they said the quadruple ex-husband, we thought she was married to Stupid Dave.
Wasn't she hollering under the fence or something like that at Travis?
She was. She even had her kids shouting him out. Oh my God. Now you got, it's very strange. You have that, and he's making these little comics about the kid, which is strange. Are we looking at wedding bells in the future?
Well, I didn't Bone Chucker end up like he's planning on coming to Otter Creek?
Apparently he put in it blew my mind, man. So apparently he's going to pick up like a little RV. He's going to drive it around. He said they're not going to get in a relationship. I was like, denial and everything. That's interesting. Why would you bring this up in the first place? Why would you be bringing up the idea that you guys might get together with the RV? That's really bizarre.
Maybe he's going for some younger meat. I mean, she is younger than him by
dude.
a
So
decade.
I was reading through that same transcript with them talking about only meat. And they mention, they're talking about the protective order. And I'm noticing this theme that keeps popping up in so many of their discussions. 2L spends a lot of time talking to John Cook on the phone. A lot of time. Because in so many different live streams, she's saying things like, I talked to John today. Or, John talked to me and told me blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, damn, are you talking to John Cook every single day? That's bizarre. And why? And why on John Cook's side too? I mean, these are the same people that just conned them, or conned Lynette anyway, out of $100K. Lynette should be concerned there.
No, I think I'm more confused. Okay, because if she's saying that John is all this wonderful stuff, and John is in constant contact with them, then they're throwing her under the bus, and she's throwing him back. Is this some made up crap that they're just doing this to create content? That there's actually no beef there whatsoever? Because
Probably
that's what it
flop.
sounds like to me.
Well, they definitely have been hurting on the content line. I noticed. So I got a little curious about numbers,
Hmm.
and I noticed a sharp decline in the last. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull this up for numbers. So they, typically they'll pull now. These are you got to remember, they may be holding specific numbers like the 3,000, like typically they get about 3,700 hits on something, right? But they're having to live stream for 4 to 6 hours again. Like it's long streams. But
Yeah.
in the last stream, I'm not talking about the one they just put up today, but their last stream where they only went for 3 hours, it's only made it up to 2.7K views. And then they did the Just a Quick Hello, which went for 3 hours because they were freaking out about Just Jay, I guess. And they were trying to hawk their crystals again. 3 hours, 1,000 freaking views. And they're going to go tonight too. What a mess. What a mess.
That is a mess. Oh my! And of course, they'll do the Sunday stream that they just can't resist, trying to say things that Jeremy never said. That one always baffled me. I never understood that because either they got a problem with their hearing, or well, which is always a possibility, or they're just making stuff up. Because there's times it's like, wow, he said this, and I'm like, if you listen, that's not what he said at all.
Yeah, he didn't even come close to saying that, which is kind of amazing when you get down to it. It's like, well, the reason they do that though is because they know that many of the people that are left, okay, so some of their live streams are pulling less than 300 people, and I go over and I look at these different discussion groups, with the ones they freak out about, like the ecosystem one. There's that one on Facebook. It's got like Georgie, Veteran Nation. I think maybe I don't know if it's their group, but they definitely mod it out. But anyway, I see all these people talking about, setting in and watching. And I'm like, how many of these people out of less than 300, out of 284 are actually just, you have Hales fans that watch. You have people that are just curious and want to watch a train wreck that watch on. How many are left in the ecosystem that actually buy into the BS? Honestly,
well, they're mods.
Yeah, I guess. What do you have?
Thing I can think of.
Mods do not drink that Kool-Aid. I'm just gonna say, don't. If they ever serve you drinks, don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh, they're slurping down that Kool-Aid. They even come over in mine and slurp on my Kool-Aid too.
I heard that.
Stacey,
I heard that they that there was another membership given away, to the Nat. Like she's been collecting them all over. Yeah.
Oh, hey, she if she gets enough, she might win like mod certification or something like that. Isn't that how YouTube works?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. They did, by the way. Oh my God. So one day I don't know what I was doing. I went and I saw their live stream was going, it started up. Like, okay. So about 4 hours later, I noticed it was going. I was like, okay. 8 hours later, I noticed it was still going. I was like, 12 freaking hours. 12 hours. I was like, man, how do these people cannot have anything else in life? They can't, and they're not making bank or anything. They're just there to hate this one guy. And it's become a life dedication to hating this dude. They complain about people. Oh my God, they're monetizing. Fuck yes, I'm monetizing. What's your excuse?
Yeah.
You're God, man. See, for me, I laugh at stupid people. Of course I'm monetizing. But
Exactly.
could you imagine doing that for free? 12 hours of that awful shit. And I'm also like, who the hell is watching this shit? God.
For 12 hours? Oh my
12
God.
hours of it, dude. I mean, uh, that would be, the scenes in Clockwork Orange where they like prop his eyes open and everything and force him to watch things. That would be like my hell, They force my eyes open, not let me blink, and have to watch the mod show for 12 hours.
They come by and give you eye drops every so often
Oh,
because
God.
oh God.
Although I really would encourage them, put together more of those songs. They were very fun.
I put one together. I want to see how it sounds real quick. Let me see.
God, they need to make some more. Like they had more of them like there were more. Like they had more. They had more Lisa Lee songs.
Well, I think I've got one. Let me see. I'll share it with you here. It's like, why is it not pulling up there?
I don't know. It freaks out sometimes, man.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'll share it with you. And the way that you do it, so you don't have to share my whole screen, is once the screen comes up, you just go back to where it just shows the two of us, and then you'll be able to hear the sound whenever I share it.
Just the two of us. All right, let's see. Popped and popped.
Yeah, now you should be able to hear it. It's called Protractor Heart and Half a Smile.
Protractor.
Well, bless her gums and call the dentist. Felisa's out here measuring love in crooked angles again. She's got 3 teeth and a grin so wide you could park a John Deere right inside. Says she's sweet, but I can taste the lies. Like store-brand pie that never quite fries. She's got a heart so big it tips the car, but it's full of gossip, fumes, and tar. Oh, she's my protractor queen, drawing squares where teeth should have been. Love's at 90 degrees tonight, that open mouth smile just ain't right. She's got a heart so huge it squeaks when she moves. Bless her gums, she measures love in grooves.
Sorry, I'm laughing too hard.
My protractor queen. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh.
Man, that's amazing. It's amazing that these people they fascinate me. They really do. I mean, I cannot believe how strange and just bizarre these people are. Oh my God, man. It blows my mind sometimes.
Well, I've been blown away just whenever you start digging into it and you start seeing the people that have come into this whole thing. You've gone and what I found strange was as soon as someone comes in, they say, "Oh, everybody's going to attack them." If they're saying something stupid, you look into these people and you go, well, who is this? What's their correlation to this group? What are they offering? And I think that whenever people started noticing who Volmit was, it was like, oh, okay, so he's just a hired gun that wants to get paid off of covering a story. Who's Paint Chip? Oh gosh, this guy's been thrown in prison. Who's Lips? Oh, this person, lost their ability to practice law. Who is Bubbles? Oh, he's this, guy that's been hitting, sucking on everybody to try to get them to cover something about his mac and cheese plate or something. and once you start seeing like who these people are, like really digging down and seeing the kind of people they are, you notice nobody said anything about Helms's attorney. Nobody's talked anything about Bubble's attorney at all.
Mhm.
No, nobody's we looked at them and they seem to be just attorneys doing their own thing.
I have some questions about one of them, but so far, yeah, there's nothing stand out. The filings, that's really what piques everybody's interest. When you look at the insanity, like if like BBB, he would have just filed normal filings and they wouldn't have sounded like absolute chaos. We would have ended up reading some, but it's really funny because they create this, they want this too. They create a lose-lose scenario where if you cover them, they scream and cry and whine. That's like what BBB did. But when we didn't cover him, he used to whine and cry about how we were afraid to read his dog. You remember that when we used to laugh at him and we wouldn't read them and he'd freak out about it. So then we started reading them all because they were funny and awful. And then he started freaking out about that. It's like, which way you want it? I mean, you asked me to read them. I'm trying. I'm doing exactly what you do. You said you want it. They want it until they don't.
Well, and yeah, because I was reading every single thing that he was putting out there, and I was, and now of course he's harassing Larry, or somebody's harassing Larry using his bullshit, and I'm like, this
you've been covering that, right? You've been covering the whole case on that.
As soon as I get more documents, I mean, nothing's been filed, so there's really nothing to cover on it. Yet. And that's the way that if once something comes out, I'll read it, but there's been nothing. I mean, I could probably go back and read it from the very beginning, but there's really nothing there. I mean, because the breakdown of it is that former employees of his, he basically sued them because they opened up their own business using his business model and apparently took some clients away from him. And so he sued, and then they wanted to take it to arbitration per his contract that he had signed. It goes into arbitration, or the movement towards arbitration. And then something happened. Oh, what was it, around April, May, somewhere around in there. And then all of a sudden the filings changed and they didn't want to do that anymore. So like it just got really, really strange.
Well, it was really interesting. There was a certain time when a certain BBB started posting about all this stuff, and that you could just see like this insertion of weirdos into anything. What it looks like for someone like Larry, they've decided he's never going to leave him alone because he wouldn't have him on for his little mac and cheese thing.
Yeah, and didn't he try that with Vices too?
Yeah, he hit up. So he hit up a few people about coming on. Like he did hit me up about coming on, but as well. Now he didn't frame it about mac and cheese. He framed it about his about the Hales thing, but it was around the same time. But for me, I didn't even notice his email. I got a bunch of emails, so
yeah.
I didn't even notice it. And just to be blunt about it, he's and I mean this in not an insulting way, but he has no bearing on anything. He doesn't have a channel. He doesn't have anything to really offer. Like he's just some rando that fucking was like, oh, look at me. I'm going to be the voice of this or that. Have me on. He's like, no, I'm not. I don't even, if I would have seen it, no. Why would I do that? That wouldn't make sense. Then the The second
that-
email I get from him is a threat for the thumbnail litigation. Remove or else.
We've seen that before.
And I monetized the shit out of that. I thought it was funny. At the time I was dealing with some personal stuff on that. So I was like, well, maybe he will still add me, maybe he won't, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to take that thumbnail and I'm going to replace the image with all these funny things. So I'm going to put like a golem there, for her. Then we put all this other stuff and I monetized the shit out of it too. And it was funny.
Yes.
They didn't put me in, but the discussion too about like the thumbnail case. It's really interesting because Lynette asks at one time, when he's changing the thumbnails out, Larry she's essentially saying, I'm not going to get my money then, if he does this, I'm not going to get paid. And Bruce is, again, I'm paraphrasing. He's like, it doesn't matter if he does that. We're going anyway. So they had always planned on harassing Larry, on targeting him. And they're going to do more of it.
Well,
they're absolutely going to do more.
Which makes no sense why you would go and harass Larry, because Larry he's been covering so much other stuff. He's been so busy with other stuff that this hasn't even really hit his radar. So and then of course whenever he says that Larry did a stream right after right after that filing, Larry never streamed. It was me. And he even linked my damn YouTube channel to it. I was like, "Look, that was stupid."
Yeah, you're apparently Larry now.
Wow, I got younger and more attractive. Isn't that wonderful?
Well, that's funny because they at a certain point that really looks like a fraud upon the court, does it not?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm surprised that I haven't seen anything else, because you just caught live. Awesome. No,
I'm waiting for Larry's response to Bruce's litigation.
Oh, that I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, because that would be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry, God, that case is, God. I love the fact that his answer was like, he called me deuce, and deuce means excrement. Why would you file that? Oh my God. We learned that from so many cases. You don't file things like that because you become known as the excrement guy. I mean, my God, how did Amber Heard become Amber Turd? Because she put it in a filing.
Yes.
Like if he wants coverage, you think about this. He's been angling for coverage. What does he think he's going to be known as? People are going to see that, and they're going to see his own file, and they're going to be like, "Oh my God, this dude is the excrement lawyer."
His
name is Lord.
His name is Poop.
Does he think that internet? He's like, he's so mean to me. That's it's ism. It's the ism. Well, yeah, that's not going to fly. Like they're not gonna. When these people pick it up, they're not going to care if you call them ists and phobes. There are some people out there that will totally bury him online. He tried attracting that crowd. He better be glad they didn't step in, because those folks, man, I mean, God.
Yeah, you think we dig? No, these people that you want to involve, those people, they dig, and whenever they find what they're looking for, they go scorched earth. They're not siding with anybody. They will go after anybody. They will make up crap. They will make up crap.
They bring chaos. like, you know, I mean, they make too somebody like paint chips. They make them look like, you know, like junior staff. Like they're nobodies. Like these are people that will wreck them, and
Yeah.
they would have a field day with Lynette Preston. They would have a field day with, oh my God, like 2L in the gang. Holy crap. If somebody notices their thumbnails and then finds out what they really look like, holy shit. If anybody ever really notices that, these people they wanted covering, they don't want it. They really don't want it.
No, because they will find out what you look like. And
Oh
it'll
my
be posted everywhere.
We need to make a Dr. Seuss book, but instead of like red fish, blue fish, it needs to be like, you know, it needs to be red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish. You know, they need to be like, oh my God, we could make ecosystem like freaking Dr. Seuss books. I want to plan off like teeth.
Teeth.
Oh my God, man. These people are fun to watch, though. Every single day, I enjoy watching them. I've enjoyed the filings as well. I really want them to get the bankruptcy on, though. This is what Lynette doesn't understand either. We all want to see the bankruptcy go forward.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean everyone wants to see this thing go forward because it is going to be the most insane thing that you've ever seen. Because you can't play around. You try to file some stuff like paint chip did. Oh boy. Oh, that the bankruptcy court would have a field day with that.
Oh God, I mean, you know, they're dumb enough to put something like that in there too.
No.
They absolutely are. They are. They are dumb enough to do that. You know they are. And I think that would be amazing if it happened.
Oh God.
I'd have a great day. Like I'm just laughing at those. Like I said, I think it would be a lot of fun. All right. I think I'm gonna hit some supers, man. I think it's been fun, man. We've been busting for 2 hours. You hanging or you
Yeah, I can hang for a bit. I'm gonna work on a couple of songs and laugh with you in the super chats because these guys, your chat is unbelievable.
I'm working on live at the. Oh, let me see if I'll pull it up here. It's been weird about wanting to pull up screenshots today. Yeah, look, I'm working on more of my assembly line of that umbrella guy. This is what I've been doing all day. Oh my God, the little workers are funny. Like some of the things they do. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, what happened to his hips? Is he injured? Look at his feet. Oh my God. I think he's been crushed. Some of these are fun though. Like they're rolling it in, like whatever he's doing there. He's like, It looks like he's got a GAD or something. He's installing some firearmage.
It's more like it's probably a rivet gun. You know, you got to get the rivets in there.
It's so weird, man. All right, Sister Sal. What's up, Sister Sal? Drop that 10 gifted memberships right from go. Thank you. Hey, maybe some of the Mod Squad crew, they can come over and get another one. You know, Nat, by the way, did get one here one day.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it's funny. You know, that they pop up. All these ecosystem weirdos, they used to complain all the time. Like if any of us, you know, we'd pop up or say anything. And I mean, they're getting memberships. Bruce has gotten memberships before and other ones. It's so good.
Yes, he does.
D, thanks for the 7 months. Love my family. Hey, love to you too. Appreciate you, D. Thank you. Carol, drop that super sticker. Thank you, Carol. Love the super sticker. In fact, we got a few super stickers. We got Sister Sal dropped a super sticker as well. Thank you, Sister Sal. Appreciate that. James dropped a super sticker as well. So we had 3 of them pop off in a row. That's cool. We had a Linda with no sound. Did one of the clips not come up with sound? Is that what happened earlier? Let me know in that too. That's some StreamYard weirdness. Every now and then they will turn off the sound of one of them. And I was not, usually I have it playing over here muted, but I didn't listen. So I'm curious if one of those sound clips got muted out.
No, they were all, you had sound. It might have been on her side.
Okay. I'm curious about that. Emma, thanks for the 2. 2 of my favorite people together again. Well, thank you, Emma. Like we have not, we've not had, again, there were people questions. And when I say this, I do not mean this negatively. I would much rather you ask if there is a problem than people sit around and, create this narrative in their head like there really is some issue. But people were like, you, Megan and Shizzy, you've all seemed to have fallen out. I was like, me and Megan, we were on a show yesterday. What's going on? But
Yeah.
if you meant me and Megan and then Shizzy, I was like, no, I mean, we're just doing our thing. But I mean, we all like collectively, if there's something, we all communicate. So
Yeah.
I just, Lord.
It's like if I see a filing come in, it's not uncommon that I'll send a message over to Tug or Megan and say, hey, did you see this came in?
Yeah.
And sometimes it'd be like the same return, just like, oh no, I saw this come in. Did you see this one come in? That's it.
Yeah, I think we all keep up with our own thing too. Like sometimes when certain ecosystem madness pops off, I'll tell people, I'll be like, hey, did you see the fact that and like the Only Me thing, for example?
Oh yeah.
When I find out Only Me, because the big donor thing, like that really, really interests me.
Yeah, that was a big donor.
Well, that guy, I mean, I don't understand. I still can't get over how you burn a guy he's giving you $50,000. And on top of it, like Lisa was getting her cut on top of it. It wasn't like she wasn't getting money too. This dude was giving her buku bucks as well.
Yeah, wasn't he like throwing $500 super chats and stuff like that
Oh,
at her?
yeah. He was dropping, he was known to drop like 50 memberships and, items like that. And he can be very difficult to deal with too. I could understand, like if they were wanting to ban him outright because he was being an ass. Oh, okay, but fair enough. You can ban people for that if you want to, but they weren't doing that. In fact, they were doing everything they could to preserve the super chats. But it's when he started asking the wrong questions, that's when they've started banning him everywhere. And they ban people now for asking about these folks. They've gotten to the point where they outright ban. Like if you ask the wrong questions, you get banned straight up. No disruption, no nothing. You just ask about Only Me. Hey, what happened with Only Me and all that money?
That is very cultish, though. Of course, they do play the cult songs.
Yeah, I mean, they have their own cult jams, and it's not surprising they have some cultish behaviors. God, man, I mean,
if
I never
anybody's ever wondering if there's issues going on, just ask. I mean, don't speculate. I mean, because I think somebody said something a ways back. It was like, this anything going on between you, Megan, and Tug? I was like, I can't think so, but
Yeah, see, somebody had posted on that, which again, they mentioned something in the chat one day. We're like, I didn't mean anything about it. No, it wasn't a bad thing at all. You asked point blank. I'm glad you did, because I got like over a dozen emails. I was like, really? So I guess we need to squash that right now, But thank you, Emma, too. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we have fun when we get together. It's I don't feel like we ever really cover anything. We talk about, some filings, and I mean, this case is so crazy. You just randomly talk about a few things here and there and get a feel for what other people think.
Yeah.
Number 1, Cat Whisperer. Thank you for 6 months there. Hey, Tug, Shizzy, chat. Been doing well, just lurking. Well, I hope you are doing better. Love to you, prayers with you. And I'm glad to see you here. Enjoy, kick back and laugh at stupid people. That's what we all try. Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership. Also, thank you for being here yet again, my friend. Always, like I said, dependable, and I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Razilla, thanks for the 5 there. A truck carrying Viagra has collided with a prison van on the highway. Motorists are asked to be on the lookout for 16 hard criminals. Oh, no. This is a stick up. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's so funny. Mary, thanks for checking out my avatar. Don't forget the meds. Yeah, I've been kicking the meds up good, actually. Thank you. I like the unicorn. Look at it. It's so sad in its little box. Oh,
says it will work for food. Well, it's not old enough.
What's it working? Yeah, like, oh, gross. What now? Lorraine, thanks for the 5. Tug, your dancing is outstanding. Wanted to also say hello to Shizzy.
Well, hello, Lorraine. Welcome.
Of course, my dancing is amazing.
It's dog.
Yeah, here. You want to see some more of those moves?
I love
Check
it.
it out. Look, off the money. I'm like, oh yeah, dance. It's amazing. Look at those moves. I like how he disjoints his whole. Look at this. It's so weird. Oh, look at that one. I like too on StreamYard they've added a loop feature, so I could just loop that over and over and over again. But the real question that you have to ask yourself when you see that dance, how does it convert into hot plates? Let's do some hot plate math. If there were 2, I like how for some reason it makes these burning wheels in the sky. Those are hot plates. Why? I don't know. Just go with it. Thank you, Lorraine, by the way. I love it. Appreciate you. Paul, thanks for the 5. Lisa Lee, our protector, stands in truth. Choo, yeah. Chicken skin slurp. Oh, that
is about what it's like. I think I tuned in one time, and as many times as you say, I don't smoke, you hear the because you remember whenever you would smoke. I remember when you were smoking cigars, right?
Yeah.
and you could hear the thing light up, and you could hear everything. And what makes her think that people? I guess you just gave up on it. That and sucking on chicken bones or something.
That chicken. They were eating like a KFC bucket one time. I can't stand to listen to people eat. It grosses me out. It's one of those things. If I go to a restaurant, I put in headphones. I cannot stand to listen to it. It makes me want to punch somebody. It really grates on me. So tuning in and hearing her slurp chicken skin. It was so gross. She was like, ooh, there's the skin. Oh my God, what is happening? It's like, let me get that. I'm a supermodel. Let me get some chicken skins. Gross, man. What in the what now? How does that happen? Our protector, man. That's where our heart's so big and bold. It's got chambers in it. They're like little cathedrals. Hey, knock it up. Hey, man, I'm glad everything's sorted, by the way, my friend. Thanks for the 20 there. I've been running this too, Cizzy. If you get somebody telling you that they can't communicate in your chat, because they're not showing up as blocked or anything, but they for some reason can't post. I have had people mail me their links, for their YouTube, and I'll check them and I'll toggle them. I'll hide them and unhide them. If you go in the drop down, you can hide a user it doesn't call it blocking, it calls it hiding. But I'll hide and I'll unhide them. And after I toggle them, the majority of people can post again. It's
Wow.
the strangest thing. I've run across one person that was blocked, on a list, and I was like, okay, well, everybody, it could have been an accident. If not, everybody deserves a second chance, unless they're slurping chicken skins, then they don't. But everybody else, they weren't matters of being blocked. It's just some weird YouTube thing. So, but knock it off. Thank for the 20 there. Let the whiz nut in here. No, indeed. I think these two could go on Broadway and slay the greatest curtain calls. I know it was pretty amazing. It was. By the way, Lisa really thinks that the PO is expired. Is that true? JH seems to be clear that it's still on. Well, okay, a lot of that thing is shrouded in it depends on what's going on, all right? But the way that I think this is rolling, I'm pretty sure they had a hearing. You can he had a live stream where he talked about this stuff. And what I get out of that is there was some kind of ex parte hearing where they talked about all of this madness, and a judge will have to rule on that. Now, while that's on, while it's still there, you going in and violating, that's how you get extensions right there. I don't think there's any world in which they wouldn't extend this protective order. After everything we have seen from these people, the hundreds of flagrant violations, I believe, like I said, I think they had a hearing, and I think you run at the speed of court, and court is not that fast. So getting in, it probably took a long time. I'm sure, you have God knows what kind of issues, whether that's scheduling, there could be snafus, anything. But I
don't know too much about protective orders, but if sometimes the judge will call people in to have communication with them, it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll call both parties in. Am I correct in this?
No, they don't have to. They can have you can ask for a hearing. You can ask to present items to a judge, like have some kind of emergency hearing, essentially, and they won't necessarily have both parties involved. So
yeah, okay, because I was pretty sure that's how it would work, especially if it's like a protective order and you're just that protective order is getting ready to be renewed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you have to have a hearing for that. All you have to do is show proof that there's reason to have that.
Right.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Laura Owens did the same thing.
Yeah, you like you said, you just have to have, and the bar is not very high for protective orders, just to note. You're not talking about like some earth-shattering thing that has to have that put in. I mean, these people have violated enough. By the violations alone, I think you can make the case that you need it extended. And then with everything else, again,
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the court. I mean,
what goes on with it, though. So what I would say is a very dumb move, though, is sitting around while this could potentially happen and talking about it. But again, those people up there, they're not hurt by it. The people that get hurt by the protective order, if there's violations or if it's extended or whatever, the people that get impacted by that are Lynette Preston and John Cook. All these other people that are communicating with them and telling them to violate and all that, again, it's on them, but it should be on these other people. But ultimately, they're not going to be the ones that are fined or jailed or whatever happens. So
makes you wonder if they're doing it intentionally to tank it even more.
But I mean, they're having communications. They're admitting it. I could not believe you. I couldn't believe that. That's one thing we didn't talk about. So they had that interview. I could not believe they did that.
It was so horrible. That interview, and I thought about covering that and bringing it up on Rumble, and I saw that you and Megan had covered it, and I was just like, Yeah, that's enough. There's because there's so many things wrong with everything that not every single thing that Volmet was saying was incorrect, but just even having them there was incorrect.
He didn't understand how the Violence Against Women Act, how that worked for men. That blew my mind. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, are you trying to gaslight me?" You know? It blew my mind.
That's not what that is. Anybody with half, well, there you go again, assuming that they have half a brain.
Yeah, there's a lot of assumption. But I mean, for the protective order, they you could see the date where they were talking about, they were like, okay, today's date now. It's the 10th. Oh, that's the day it expires. Oh, right now. There's been nothing in there. So according to John's belief, so they're telling you, I've been talking to John about this. I mean, again, these are the kind of things that you don't tell the world you're doing, but John Cook is one of the dumbest human beings I've ever seen. It amazes me. It does. It amazes me. Emmy, by the way, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you very much, Emmy. I appreciate it. I like how laid back your freaking Muppet looks, by the way. Yeah, just chilling. I love it. Sandra, thanks for the 5 there. Would UK date of the 17th be US date of the 16th? It depends on the time. Like right now, if it's, let's just say, the time zone, I forget how many hours that is.
I think it's 6. I think it's 6 hours difference. For
Yeah,
you,
so
I think it's 5.
Yeah. So what you got to do is just do a conversion for the time zone. So it can be technically, but in the middle of the day, like if I'm in the, waking up in my morning and saying, hey, it's the 16th, well, it'd be the 16th for you too. But later on in the evening, when we go over, there's when you get into like Aussie time, you have again, you just have to adjust for the time zone. But if you're curious about it, just look up, like for me, I would be in Central Time. So look up CT. So you convert it there. You'd be like your time zone, whatever. Just again, look up on your phone, like what is my time zone if you don't know, and then compare it to Central Time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's confusion. It's really weird too when you do live streams with people in all different time zones. Veteran Nation, what's up, man? Man, they've been freaking out about Veteran Nation lately too.
Well, they're freaking out about everybody.
No.
They can't
I
help
love it though. Between Georgie Coop, Veteran Nation, yourself, Just Jay, Rosalind. Holy God, they've been Rosalind. By the way, I really want. So I went over the Tizzy video. I've been thinking about going over like 1, 2. God, Rosalind has some really good videos lately.
Oh, she does. Oh, they are on fire.
Mm-hmm. She's been doing some deep dive digging. So Megan was like, "Hey, have you seen this last video?" And I was like, I don't know if I had actually. There's been so much going on. She's like, "You need to see this one with all the receipts, with the family receipts, especially when she was saying, my family, they would stick up for me, blah, blah. They're afraid to." Yeah, those receipts were something else. Wow. She brought the hammer down. Rosalind has been putting on some good shows lately. So
well, it's not just the receipts that she's been bringing. She brought one of the stepchildren on.
Yeah, that was a good interview. There was stuff brought up in there that I had not heard before. So yeah, she's been on fire lately for sure. She's a very good. There are a lot. I know a lot of people that are good at finding things, but she is very good at finding things. So like Rogue Mama again. There's people, Melissa out there. Man, there's some people that are very attuned at finding things.
And they're very good at what they find.
Oh,
and it's not like they're finding things that you go, oh, look, they found X, Y, or Z. They're showing exactly where they found it, how they found it. All the receipts are right there.
Yep. And some of the stuff they find is damning, you know, because it just exposes these people. You're like, oh my God, I knew it was bad with LP. I'd seen some proof that some of the stuff going on with LP, like family wise and stuff, and these people. But God, why would they ever bring up? They brought up. I went after Hales. They said all these things about him, and you got to remember a lot of the stuff that was discussed with him came out of court. I mean, court's nasty, man.
Yeah.
The stuff people say about you, and of course you're allowed, they get away with it. They're allowed to make any kind of claim they want, and they get away with it. So of course people when there's high stakes, like kids involved, some pretty nasty stuff said. But this stuff that is said about LP, that's not popping up in courtrooms. Mm-mm. It's popping up in everyday conversations, and that's really wild. Oh man, Veteran Nation though, man. Keep it up. It's been fun watching these meltdowns as of late. I've been having a good time with it. And they've got to become crazier and crazier with it, because they are not able to maintain their numbers without it. Like they have to rage every day. And it's amazing. Andre, thanks for the 2. All the money LP could have had. She could have had really anything. Like she didn't just have to have a barn dough. She brought in enough money. God, she could have bought whatever she wanted.
Well, and you've seen Shara's with Jamie Lee Johnson, right? The interview she had with her. Yeah. I cannot wait to see part 2 on that.
That's what I keep saying. Come on, Shara, come brother up.
Because
I need it.
Whenever what she brought up, if you guys haven't seen that, it is amazing, because she brings up so many things that Jamie Lee, is it Johnson? I'll say
Jamie Starr.
Yeah, Jamie Starr. Thank you. Yeah. Jamie
Lee Curtis is what you're throwing in there.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. She brought an aspect that I hadn't even really seen on this of all. Why would you leave a perfectly functioning home to go to this other place? It just, I mean, it defies all logic.
Well, it definitely. I don't understand the logic to it, period. Why would they think that this guy, I mean, I realize that, he'll hook a person up, right? But moving across the street from him, thinking that you're going to force him into a situation where he's going to give you money, why do you think that would work?
Has it worked? Well, it worked before.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it did work a little bit. It's just these people are so unmanageable. Like they can't manage themselves. And when they do that, they're so nasty and vitriolic and disruptive that sooner or later people are like, leave me alone. I mean, this story, when you track it all the way back, it's wild. It's also wild when you add in the Dan Owens stuff. That's the other thing.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah, that's going to get really interesting.
Oh wow. I'm sitting here. I'm randomly my kids have been like, let's play horror games. I'm like, all right. So I was looking at games, I'm looking on Amazon, and I noticed the PS5. You know that movie, A Quiet Place, the monster. Yeah. So they made a game of that. It's like $10 today. Like, wow. Oh yeah, $10 for a hard copy. Count me in. I'll do that. I'll try any game for $10,
All day.
Heck yeah. That's random still. But yeah, Andre, you're right. I mean, she could have had all kinds of stuff. Max Lab, thank you. I think it's for all you do too, Max Lab. Appreciate you. Like I said, I'm glad Max Lab had some technical difficulties. I know how that can be, sir. I'm in the process of this tower is on its last leg. I don't want to change it out. I hate doing that, but there.
I
Yeah,
love
Diana,
Max
so
Lab's banana avatar. That's awesome.
yeah, I love the whole banana. Man, they've been freaking out about bananas too. Oh my god, I love it. I think that's hilarious. Muppets and bananas. What a mix. If you tell somebody outside of this, oh yeah, all I have to do is mention Muppets or bananas, and these weirdos, they will go off for 6 hours. Nobody would believe it's real. Yeah. So today I did go by the post office. There were two things in there that were awesome. First of all, the kids got, instead of candy money for the note, I thought this was very cute. They got trick or treat type bags to tell you like the kids and how they are too. So we went out today. I got to show you this. Typically, I don't have the ability to, like to show you a picture because it would be. I'm careful about what I show online, but we went out today, and since it's around October, the youngest, or rather the oldest, check this out. I looked over, we're at a little eatery, and look at her there.
Oh, I love it.
She's like, I'm a cultist today. Look at me, Dad.
She's got the Donnie Darko mask. I love it.
It's cool, man. I like the fact that the bottom of the jaw, it moves when you speak because it reaches under just right. She's sitting around eating with that thing on, because it will open and you can put food in it. And she's actually got a straw in there so that she is drinking with that thing. I was like, that's hilarious, man.
That's awesome.
It's talent too. I love that freaking mask though. Picked it up. That's what she the littlest one, she's dressing like she found the Squishmallows. You know what I'm talking about? Those like cutesy little stuffed animals you can pick up. Hey, kiddo.
Yeah.
I mentioned stuffed animals, and she comes running. Yeah. Hey, tell me about your costume.
My Squishmallow costume's gonna be a Squishmallow with a little fairy one.
Yeah. It's what does it look like?
It's a vampire and a Squishmallow.
Yeah, it's like a little cutesy dog, but it's dressed like a Count Dracula kind of vampire.
It's for Halloween.
It's cute, isn't it? Yeah. And then for some reason you were like, you know what else I need? I need a fairy wand, right?
Yeah, because if you may have a fairy wand, it's Squishmallow and the bed and putty Squishmallow.
Yep. It totally makes sense with me. I love it. I love the idea. But hey, give me a look. I gotta keep going with stuff. Love you. Love you.
I love it too.
Why don't you go situate though? You can watch some. It's a weekend. Go situate yourself before bedtime.
Yeah,
It's right on bedtime. But since it's a weekend, we can lounge around. I think that would be that'd be nice. But yeah, I went to the post office, so that was there. There was also a package. Let's see, what the bags, by the way, that were sent. They were home stitched, like homemade bags, like trick or treat bags. But also, you could use them for whatever. They were cute. The girls ran around with them all day long, so they loved those things. They would not. Everywhere we went, they were running around like they were handbags because they loved Halloween stuff. But they got sketching supplies, and I'll have to look at everything that was in the box. I'd have to pull it out right in front of me, but God, they were having fun with everything. So thank you all. Yes, we did go down to the post office today, and that stuff like that makes their days. I love it. It makes my day watching them too. So thank you for mentioning that as well. I didn't want that to slip my mind. I even wrote myself a note to mention that we went, and I didn't mention it. Becky, thanks for the 10 there. This is like a spin the wheel of stupidity. I'd like to see where it lands. That's why I'm watching this show. You're exactly right. I want to know. It's like The Price is Right, except with stupidity. how much of your life and liberties will you bid on this? You know, it's so weird. Imagine Bob Barker announcing this.
Oh my God.
It's more
Oh,
like, did you ever watch that show, Pressure Luck? Big
yes.
luck, no whammies.
No whammies,
Yeah,
no whammies, no whammies.
yeah, don't want that whammy though, you know. Oh my God. I swear. These
Oh,
freaking oh God, look at this. So I'm making AI pictures, right? I'm doing my assembly line stuff while we're talking. And I tell it I need the mask, it needs to look a specific way, but you know, we'll disassemble stuff. So of course it can't follow direction. Look, it put on an extra. I was like, what is it? What are you doing? No, I don't I didn't say I wanted two freaking heads built onto it. What's happening here? Those little people are getting those little people in the wall are some tricky little mugs.
oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my God. I love laughing at some of the stupid stuff. But man, AI is so annoying sometimes. I liked this cynic, by the way. I thought this was funny. He said again, if LMNOP said had said that they wanted the quadruple XL husband who thinks she was marrying Stupa. Hell snug, by the way. That's Shizzy Whiz Nut and Tug. Snug.
snug.
It's funny. I love it. Patrick, thanks for the 5. Has it been confirmed the trailer was repoed and not confiscated as evidence, setting some FBI impound? As far as we know, they sent it back. We haven't heard anything else about it becoming evidence in something or anything like that. We, you know, and again, I not dug into it that far to find out about that, you know. You'd think
Yeah.
you might hear that though if it popped up. As far as I know, they they had a lot of outstanding debt, you know, that was out there. I mean, again, their vehicle alone cost an absolute fortune. Like that vehicle, it's one person's entire monthly benefits when you count in insurance and gas money. So
Yeah.
one person by themselves just with that. Then if you you know, you go in and look at the RV and everything else, it makes you wonder what the hell did they do with all the money they got from selling a house?
Yeah, you know, that sort of shocked me whenever I thought about it. It's like I was like, maybe that's why she's so tied into to JC, is because she couldn't have done that all on her own.
Right?
I mean,
No, I figure
that
they
makes sense.
yeah. Well, they bought the property, right? They put some money into building the barn dough. Okay. What
Yeah.
else? Again, why wouldn't they invest something in current living situation? Like, why wouldn't they put something into, again, like an RV? Why wouldn't they put some money into having something that is theirs? They could have bought something. I guess it's just like the vehicle. Like for me, outside of my window out here, before I ended up picking a few years old Armada. I like Armadas. You know, they're comfortable. They run around with kids, big enough I can step in, and not terribly priced. And not, you know, if you're not buying a brand new one. But before that, I always tried to shop within my budget for vehicles. I had a 2005 Jeep. It's still sitting outside my house over here. You know, it's seen better days. I have a 1999 Jeep. It's sitting outside here too. You know, I've I would treat the RV thing just like that if I were them. If they shopped within their confines, again, an $800 a month payment for a vehicle. Holy
Yeah,
shit, man.
that's insane.
So, yeah, I think that's why the repo, like they say they gave it up because of mold. Yeah, no. I'm sure it's a monetary thing.
Yeah.
Rob, thanks for the vibe. Yes, they're that obsessed. They're, I say, Rude and dumb, yeah. Remember, Paint Chip once humped a wall in his underwear on a live feed. That's true, and it was
That
really
is
gross.
that is
You are true there. The stars threw me off for a minute there, you know, in the live stream. That's funny. Like seeing them in the live, like it just looks so strange because on the super chat itself versus how they show up on my monitor, they look really odd. William, thanks for the 5 there. Yes, Fleece of the Hut. He said on several occasions that she talks with JC on the phone 1 or more times every day. That's weird.
I guess maybe he's easier to deal with than
every
Lynette.
day though. Take these broken wings. Oh, John. Learn to fly again. Get you a little bit of chicken skin. Oh God, could you imagine it'd be like Lady and the Tramp? They could sit together and slurp chicken skin together. Oh, it's so cute.
Well, she would lose every single time. She couldn't hold it between her teeth.
I don't know. She'd be like, "Oh, what are you talking about? I'm so pretty." Don't I look just like my avatar online? You're like, yeah, you sure do. You sure do. Holy God. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine a blind date like popping up when you're like, what the
I wish it was blind on that date.
Oh my God. That'd be a hate crime right there. Because I'd hate my life. That would be so criminal. So gross. Freaking 1 or more times every day. That is crazy, you know. So hey, knock it off. Thank you for the extra 10 there. I forgot one question. How much time is left before Bolitho will start taking action on the case? He had to hold. So it looks like they've got something. The time limit. There's a holiday. Isn't there a holiday coming up? Like next week, isn't there? Let me check something.
I think that's right. I think there's something coming up next week.
Let me make sure before I note. You know,
Yeah.
So Columbus Day is on the 13th. Now every federal holiday, you know, is observed by the courts. They love the holidays, you know, so they will definitely observe that. But Melissa put up a good post talking about how the days, like they are right on being up. So I think the 90 days, the hold is actually up like in next week.
Yeah.
And then we'll be talking about, we'll have some kind of status conference. So if they don't get the ball rolling on this, and again, they need to hurry up and get this freaking bankruptcy on its way. Because that right there, again, I don't know how to make it any clearer. I want this bankruptcy to happen. It needs to. They think we're joking around. They don't listen to good advice anyway. So
no,
yeah,
I mean, I'll correct it whenever they say that the bankruptcy is on. Until it is, it's not.
It's not.
I mean, not that I don't want to see it happen, but it's just not right now.
No, it has so far. Nothing has happened with it that indicates that anything, unless there has been some paperwork that none of us have seen, some filing that has popped up that is not available to the public yet. I mean, could that theoretically happen? Maybe, I guess, but I'm not putting a lot of stock in that. By now, it should have popped up,
Right.
By now, we should have seen it if it was going to be there. And I think we would have potentially heard about it too. I've heard nothing about that thing being back on, and again, I'm rooting for it. I really do want it to happen. Oh my God. Oh, that is hilarious. Somebody sent me a picture of one of Volmit's live streams where he didn't realize everything was desyncing. He uses a fake background and everything anyway. And he looks so sad and pathetic most of the times anyway. But he turned him green and it squished him up. So I'll have to show you a picture of that later on. Oh my God.
Turned him green and squished him.
Yeah, it squished him. But BBB, he really needs to be spanked for his crap. Oh, both judges huddle up. Well, the Bolitho won't be huddling up. There won't be a huddle up, unfortunately. I think Grabe, it would be great if that could happen, but it won't. You know, totally different. It's totally different types of cases. But I'm hoping that going forward, they make some type of a I mean, Bolitho, until I see him do something to Bruce, I won't have any faith. I mean, granted, if you want to play devil's advocate, there hasn't been a lot of time for action. You know, everything went almost to hold. Like right after that hearing, you had Bolitho put things on hold. Then right when it came back, you know, there was only a few days, and then bam, you know, they had the bankruptcy shut down. So there wasn't a lot of time. But at the same time, you would think Bolitho would be armed and ready, you know, with a decision, because he's had plenty of time.
Well, and you know, if people are wondering why Randy hasn't done anything, because I got that question the other night, and my assumption on that, the reason why he hasn't done anything is because they expect that the bankruptcy is going to continue, and there's no need to file anything in those 90 days until there's a decision. And so in 90 days, whenever that comes up, I think that 90 days is on the 13th, so it'll probably be the 14th, that, you know, he'll say, you know, it's not on hold anymore. It hasn't been for 90 days. Unless there's something that comes out before then.
I would imagine they want it to happen, you know, honestly, because again, she's telling on herself. She tells on herself all the time. So why wouldn't, you know, with the shutdown governmentally, you know, they'll blame that, but ultimately that's not the reason it fell apart. Remember, they messed up. When they messed up, that was her lawyer's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever said, these people, the incompetence level is just outstanding, man.
I'm just amazed that they keep hiring the same incompetent things and then paying twice as much for the service of having incompetence.
Yeah, because, you know, people are like, well, maybe the delay was intentional. This delay here, what they did is not intentional. This is a mess. This is a mess. It also caused, I mean, Lynette, it put her in the hot seat too, because everything worked against them. You know, you had the delay, but on top of the delay, you also had government shutdown. Now, you can't plan for a government shutdown, of course, but it's my Lord, man. It's been amazing. So Jack's mom, thanks for the $5 there. I think BBB got extra butt hurt from his reception at the Karen Reed trial versus Larry's reception, where he made it in the door, or no one would talk to BBB. Well, if that is the case, you know, BBB just pops up one day and is wandering around. You know how many people like do that kind of stuff? And Larry he puts in the legwork. He networks. You know, he's pretty charismatic too. You know,
well,
he's very good at talking to people.
Well, and I think it might be just quite a bit of jealousy that you got this young guy that comes in and he uses media to his advantage,
right?
And he doesn't do it to push. He doesn't do it to push a narrative, or doesn't use it to harm other people. It's the way that I look at it. He does it because he's covering something that he finds interesting. It interests him. And he's been covering Karen Reed for quite a bit. I mean, and he's not the only one that's been covering it. Broken Baker had been covered the first trial. And so it was just natural that he would cover the second trial. And, you know, so it's not something abnormal. And also he's been doing this kind of thing for quite some time, talking about cases. I mean, during Depp and Heard, and even before then.
Well, also, I liked with Larry's coverage. Larry's not afraid to have an opinion. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people they fence ride, and I mean, I get that. You wanna research, but at a certain point, you are allowed to have opinions, and if he has an opinion on something, like he just lets it be known, and he backs it up. Like in the Heard case, for example, a lot of lawyers they did not want to say that she could lose, and he went in there, and people laughed at him about this. I very well remember this because
Mhm.
this is why it caught my attention. He said, "I'm reading the jury." And the jury, they're going to find her guilty. They're going to say, yes, this happened. And they're like, all these people were like, oh, you can't base that on that. You don't know. Well, guess what? He was right. He was
Yeah.
totally right on that. And he was right about how they were putting. So he's smart. He's what a lawyer should be. In movies, you know how lawyers read people? Well, that's what he does. Like that's what
Yeah.
they're supposed to do. He's good at that. And BBB, he's not very good at reading the room, it feels like. Mad had a Matt. Thanks for the two there. They're Manskin, attorney of no law. Helping jury. That's hilarious. That's good times there. Damn, look at that, man. Cynic in Chief, 62 freaking months, man. Like I said, Cynic has been here for a long time. That certain people I recognize from way back in my day. And, like 2012 Jameson. Some of these folks have been here for a long time. Like some of them have been here when I was streaming to, less than 100 people some days, I've been around. I remember when I started streaming, by the way, I streamed to 8 people. That was the first live stream, 8 people.
Yep,
Well, there's a big difference.
I had 2 people. One of them was me.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. I hear you. So Cynic in Chief, thank you for the 62 months, my brother. I've just imagined Mr. Mediker. Oh God, could you imagine him going through laughing at Lips's filings, phone calls, photos, videos that he plays Lisa's streams and cult songs. Yeah, Mediker. Holy God, that's what I'm saying, man. One of these people, one of these destroyers of folks, they ever find this case. They will destroy. They've been lucky that this thing is so complex and convoluted that it kind of hides the stupid inside. If it were just one case, people would understand. But yeah, Rhea Ra, thanks for the 2 there. I'm having a bad day today. The mods are rallying. Well, you know what, Rhea? I hope you are not having a bad day. Maybe blame it on Raya. You'd be like, you know what? That's what I do. I'm having a bad day. Rhea's having a bad day. Blame it on Raya, right? But no, I hope your days are going good. I appreciate you. You, Mark, you guys are good people. So, oh man, laugh at the stupid always. That's what I do. Bad day, laugh at the stupid. Fun day, laugh at the stupid. Collie, thanks for the 5 there. Great stream with you both together. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes I don't even feel like we streamed. I just feel like we talked about some stupid crap the whole time. But then again, I guess that is a stream, right?
Yeah.
So, Emma, thanks for the 26 months. I know you two don't have any issue with each other. Just saying I'm happy you two are streaming together again because it's been a while. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, it was an excuse to stream together too, sit down time. It was really funny because I mentioned I was going to hit up Shizzy. And then I just walked in and I was like, well, I'm going to hit him up at 3. And like 8 or 9 minutes before that, he was like, yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm available. I was like, damn, that was amazing. Talk about that's some simpatico stuff right there. That's awesome. Thank you, Emma. Yeah, I mean, I have good live streams there. I need to have Jay and Rosalind. I definitely need to have Rosalind.
Oh, you should totally have Rosalind. Yeah. No,
sometimes
definitely.
I like having Jay with his folks too, though, because he's such a disruptive clown sometimes.
Yeah,
just seeing them laugh, I don't know, it makes me laugh. So, Risa, thanks for that 10 there. We need some what the hales haikus and limericks. Oh my God. Yeah, we could do. Oh my God. Let me ask Let me see. All right. Let's see. Can you write me a haiku about slurping chicken skin? Golden greasy fold, salt crackles on hungry lips, soft thunder of skin. Gross. Gross. I thought it should make me another one. Chicken skin symphony, slurp, crunch, guilt, repeat again, napkin wave surrender. Oh my god, chicken slurps. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, one more. Midnight chicken call. Slurp so loud the fridge applauds. Greasy grease crowned me. It's a queen. Oh my god. Oh Lord, those are beautiful. That first one I like. I mean, if you mix them, let me ask you. Let's say you mix them into the ultimate haiku. Let's see what it is. Come on, there we go. Oh my gosh. It told me, oh my god. It literally told me I can't. Those are amazing as is. What? What in the world? Okay. Fucking thing just make. It's like, what do you mean? Those are perfect. Oh my god. I can't believe that's real. Oh my god. Emmy, thanks for the 20 there. Thank you, Tug and Shizzy, for the laughs tonight. Seriously, my side hurts. Mine too. That made my mouth hurt when it started haikuing me. It did. I've laughed enough, my cheeks hurt.
Yes.
Dad, thank you. 3 years. Thank you there. You and Shizzy together, great show. Well, thank you. It's been fun. I've had a good time. Yeah. Pickle Team. Thanks for the 12 months. Jay said he did have an emergency meeting. They were extending the protective order. Only how long and who may be added. Yeah, I see. I figure they would definitely have like the emergency meeting makes sense. You know, if you've got the date coming down to the wire and you've had it on the books. Again, courts are weird. Like you can have everything from judge has something going on. There's no time available to get into the court. There could be, they could have a scheduling error, anything, all this stuff could pop in and you could be waiting months, and never have something come up. So
well, I'm not saying this happened. Okay, so I want to make that very clear. First of all, I'm not saying this happened because I don't know the situation. But
right.
If thinking about this, if they did the kind of crap that they did in Bolitho's courtroom, and they did that in Ohio with that protective order, that might be why they had an emergency meeting. And it would have been the judge that called it because receiving emails from the WhatTheHales ecosystem, that is a possibility. I mean, I don't know if that's the situation, but that could set a judge off and be like, what the hell's going on with this?
I think the way it sounds, they went in with a emergency hearing, like, hey, you've got to hear this. This is crazy, because they've been talking about, again, I haven't seen a filing or anything, so I don't know how this was set up. The only people that have ever shown filings and stuff, by the way, have been the ecosystem. They're the ones who have leaked this kind of stuff. So just to know, I've never seen one before from them. But he mentioned hundreds of violations, and yes, there have been. So there's enough stuff there with the record of some of these people too. If you're like, look, she's getting third-party violators like paint chips.
Oh,
holy
God.
shit, man! That's
Yeah.
worry. I can't see any world in which a judge looks at that and says, "Yeah, that's not that's okay." You know?
Well, if you were in a certain Judge Grudge's court, probably.
Yeah, well, that's true. I don't know. Even he was like, "Wait, this obscene filing, you know, what's going on?" So even he saw a problem with one of those filings, which is amazing. Again, with him noting that about a filing, you know how hands off he's been about things happening in his courtroom. Unless Randy, you know, says something, then apparently Randy's fair game. But
Yeah.
that's so weird. Andre, thanks for the 12 months. Someone named John Cook has been a regular in Rosalind's chat. Hey, yeah, it may be a John. You know, band wise, see, any of these people, even here, if they would follow the damn rules, they would not get banned out of chats. You know,
Right.
I don't particularly like banning people, but if
Nope.
they're like my mods, and I trust my mods on here, they look at stuff like if it is a problem for the channel, it's not does it hurt your feels, you know, or does it disagree with Tug? It's none of that. That's not in the rules. It is it channel damaging potentially? And these people, they do that kind of stuff. So if he could follow the rules, he could be here, you know, and I would welcome his dumbass over here, run his mouth all he wants. But
he couldn't. That's why he got banned out of mine.
yeah,
I mean, it's same way with Bubbles. I had no problem him getting gifted memberships, but whenever you come in and you start stirring stuff up, I'm not going to allow it.
well, when they start dropping, I'm gonna use the word that YouTube would call them. When they start dropping slurs, you know, I mean,
Yes.
again, that's how YouTube sees things. The mods, they make a decision on it. They'll warn you, or if there's certain people and they know, depending on the vulgar. Again, you know, somebody tries to drop, let's say, I'm gonna say this carefully so it doesn't clip and sound weird. They drop an N bomb. You know, if they drop that certain word, that you're banned, man. You're out. You know, I hate to tell you, you're out. It's not going to make it through. I actually filter. You know what's weird is YouTube used to not filter that out all the time. So I actually have made that a banned word on my channel. But you can see when people try to get that through, we can see it. And yeah, you get something like that, man. You get bounced real quick. So these people, they go out and they've tried, you know, some of that ecosystem. They've tried some horrible stuff. And again, I'm not saying one specific name with that. I'm just saying some of these ecosystem clowns have tried their best in any way possible to harm a channel. And yeah, they can't follow rules. So my rules are pretty lax, I think. You know, if you're going to troll, be funny. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't ask a lot. But anyway, Sandra, thanks for the 5 there. The time zone thing was about the 16th payment. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. You were asking, well, they do run that. Let me look at that again just to see.
Yeah, so if they were in the UK and on the 17th.
Yeah, it's still, there's not he didn't claim one for that. The only one that he has showing is 1020. Yeah, I see what you're saying on there, which is actually a good notation. If there was one close by, that would make sense. But on the list where she's, you know, she's saying there's a 16th here, October 16th. When you go through, the only one that's even remotely close is 1020 because you got 927 and 1020. So she's saying there's another one right here.
But see, here's the thing. If you look at the one side, he's notating the date, and he's also notating the dates there. So these are two different things. It's both his dates. These are all his dates.
No, this is supposed to be when stuff was sent. Like these are. She showed this on stream. She showed this whole thing on stream, but she added this. So these are supposed to be, I guess, when money popped in. Like these are her, you know, it says money received. Okay. So she said, like, these are not claims of emails or something. I believe these are supposed to be verifications for times that she got payments. So one of the times that she's noting on there, again, it has no
No,
attachment.
the other is the 17th is one. Yeah. See you have to remember that it's done in British time. So 13/12 would be the 13th day of the 11th month. 17th day of the 11th month, 2024.
Here's the 9/08, 09/08, September 8th, September 27th, October 20th, November 5th. So again, that would
Yeah.
be October 16th, though. There is no 16th.
Right. There is no
Yeah, that's what
October
I'm saying. There's
16th.
one missing here. See it? Like there's
Mhm.
no October 16th. There's nothing close to it. There's the 20th, which lines up, and there's the 17th or the 27th. So that one's this one right here, right? And so that's the second one down. And then you have the 20th, which is the fourth one down, but the third one is missing off of his notes. So I am curious if he forgot about one, because like you said, these are indeed, this is him listing, but who knows? I mean, he's typing these into a chat too. So
Yeah.
sometimes your chat won't go through. You might forget one. I mean, he's noting these as you can see other people commenting. So he's just dropping these as dates. I'm
Yeah.
curious if he forgot one, because that would make his total go up even higher.
Or it's a possibility that was not for that particular one, and that's why he didn't include it.
I mean, it says, but I don't know. Maybe I'll ask him. He'll tell me. I'll hit him up and ask him. I'm curious. Like I said, I find the whole thing interesting because of the sheer amount of money and the way they treated him afterwards. And then again, for the life of me, I would love to understand why he said that. I mean, I think I understand this, by the way, but he said that his lawyers had looked into it and it was all legit. And then he walked that back. I think he did that because I called out Stupid Dave. I said that he was a fraud, and he let his supposed friend just hang for whatever Lisa said. And I think he was trying to defend Stupid Dave. I think that's what that was about. And then he walked it back, because there's no way, again, there's no way a lawyer could look at that or, and say that the money was spent correctly. There's nothing to back that,
No.
I do wonder, though, why no police involvement yet. But yeah, Sandra, that's a good question. It is. Right, chick. Thanks for the 10 there. It's so good to see you, my shizzy. Indeed, miss you. I've been sick. Can't stay awake past like 8. Feeling good today. Love to Tug, girls, chat fam. Well, love to you. And yeah, it's fun to have Shizzy on. We've just been rambling about whatever. Chance and P. Thanks for the 10. Has the PO expired? Would Hales allow that? Well, on it again, the date was, if they had a hearing about this and it would be hanging, it would still be, you would still have a valid protective order as long as that hearing is still hanging out there. If they have that they had a hearing right before it, and as far as letting it happen, no, Hales would not have let it happen. But again, with the courts, like the courts, they run on the court's time. Like it takes months sometimes to get into a courtroom. It's crazy over important things. So I don't think he would, quote unquote, allow it. But I recall it was issued November. It can extend 3 years, have a hearing. So a new PO, it could be issued for 5 years. I can only have a PO for 5 years without new hearings. Yeah, he I'm sure, with violations and stuff, that, like, what I think happened, again, I don't know this. I think they had an emergency hearing. They asked for extension and probably violations, and they put it because the date was coming up. They would have had to go from a request, where you're waiting on the court and whatever problem is, to just almost forcing it into the docket and being like, look, this is an emergency. We have to have this hearing. So I imagine that's how, you know. Mary, thanks to how about now? Yeah, see, you're working. This is another person that got toggle. I toggled their freaking account. They weren't blocked. I went in, I blocked them and unblocked them myself. They sent me a link to their stuff. I went in, they were not blocked. I checked it. So I hit block, unblock, and look, they can do it now. That is, God, that's 6 people I know for sure. There.
Yeah, if anybody runs into that online, definitely drop me an email, and I'll do the same and get it back up there because somebody else sent me. I have my favorites. I think sent a message said I think I'm blocked from chatting on Tug's thing.
Mhm.
I think that's
yeah. I've had a few people that have had that. And if they hit me up, like I try to run it through, you know, and see what's there. But Linda, thanks for the fine. That's so the no sound comment. My bad. I know that's fine. And I was thinking, man, maybe I had a problem. Maybe something didn't play. It's happened. So I, appreciate there. Mary, thanks too. Night, you too. Look at the new avatar. I like your avatar there.
Awesome.
I do. I like it. Lisa, thanks for the tid there. Looking at the arguments over the dates, donations, it looks like a Julian versus calendar over on Rapture Talk. That's hilarious. That's
awesome.
good. That is. All right, tonight, folks, I am going to I'm going to kick you over to Yellow Flash's Flashcast. Now, again, I always put in with the caveat that if you offend easy, don't go over there. But you want to have fun, you want to laugh at whatever stupid is going on culturally or politically, go over there. They do talk about everything, but Yellow Flash is a good guy. I like him quite a bit, and I've known him forever. And some of the other guys there, I don't know everybody that comes on, but some of them like Raging Rhino, Tom, if he's there, some of the other guys, they're great people. So anyway, I'm gonna kick you over there. Tell them Tug sent you too, and yeah, appreciate you. Anything else you want to add, by the way, Shizzy?
No, man. Sunday might do a Sunday spice. It just depends. We've been doing doing a book. We're doing a parody of Lord of the Rings. It's quite fun. I do that with Demon Ballstorm. So if you guys want to check it out, replays are fine because we go on, I think, about the same time that the Hales go on. So
yeah, always you can always rewatch or whatever. That's what I tell people too. It doesn't hurt my feelings if you watch it later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, I appreciate you tuning in. Damn, we went for a while today. Almost 3 freaking out. The super chat read. God, when you have somebody on here that'll blather with me, that makes them even slower. I didn't think my super chat reads could get slower than they do. All right, folks, but I appreciate you. I'll be on tomorrow. If you remember, it'll be early. I think maybe I'm feeling like maybe I can finally get to some of that paint chips finally. Oh, I don't know. I'll try though. Either that or something else. But appreciate you folks, and we'll see you.